to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect
Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks, I'm Mr. Richie Moon.
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
And I'm the Kayfabe Queen, Millie Mells.
And this is Kayfabe Avenue.
The podcast.
No. It's Kayfabe Ave. We settled this.
It's
yeah.
both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Can you send me the memo?
Yeah.
The Queen has said it's both. It's both.
The Kayfabe Ave livecast.
Yeah.
It's both.
You know, on the account that we're a live cast and a podcast, so we're both.
We're on Facebook. We're on IG.
Like us on Facebook.
We're on Twitter.
Follow us on
and we're on YouTube live right now.
Well, we're on Twitter for the first time.
On the Twitter.
On the
We're on the Twitter.
On the
We're on the Twitter. We're on the Twitter.
We are Twittering.
We have made Twitter.
Just want to introduce this little look at this face. Look,
We have a mascot.
we got a mascot.
Kayfabe Atreus.
What was it?
Atreus.
So called Dog Austin.
I call him Dog Austin.
Dog
I call him
Austin.
Dog Austin. Well, look, if you looked at as soon as the Dog Austin looked up.
So we got competition between Pharaoh and Winston.
And Winston. That's
I mean,
Maybe.
it's not competition. How about we just all,
Have a doggy date. Let's have a doggy date.
We all have our relationship.
The elite.
The elite is fine.
Yeah.
Alright, Kayfabe
So
is
let's tell them
fine.
where we at.
Kayfabe is fine.
Kayfabe is fine.
Well, he found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Jabroni Drive.
I'm telling you, I got a song. You wait till I debut that song, okay? You wait for the song. It's gonna be awesome.
Will it rival Elias?
Elias who?
Oh.
Okay?
Oh.
Okay? Wait till I debut my song. You wait for it. You wait for it. You're gonna want it. You're gonna love it. Get it. Got it. Good.
I predict a challenge.
A challenge.
A challenge.
A challenge.
Walk with Richie Moon.
Walk
Listen.
with Richie Moon.
Listen. When
I
I
think-
debut the song,
I think he's feeling the blood moon tonight.
Do you want to give
That's
the
what it
viewers a
is.
little preview of this?
no. I know this game. I know what's gonna happen. I start to sing my song and then they delete me and cut me out. No. Alright. I got something for them. Oh, see, I knew it. See, I knew it. I knew what they were gonna do, but I'm on to them. That I'm fickle.
That's it.
Alright, so I guess we got a little bit of.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news and I have some bad news.
Bad news. That's how
Well,
Barrett would say.
I really don't have much
That's
in the
bad.
news. Just a few tidbits. The NXT call-up situation. People wondering what show they're on. WWE doesn't even know. So they're letting them literally jump back and forth from Monday Night Raw to Tuesday Night SmackDown.
Which should be
And letting
awesome.
them fit in, I guess, and
It should
see
be
where
awesome.
they fit in. I think
It
it's
should be awesome.
obvious though. Nikki, SmackDown with Sanity.
Should be, yeah.
Lacey, go to SmackDown. They need a more character-driven person.
Yeah.
I feel like the tag team, Heavy Machinery, probably go to Raw, give them a little boost, especially with the next kind of rumors coming up that the Revival is asking for their release, along with a few others, Maria Kanellis and Mike Kanellis, which Maria has posted something denying the rumors of leaving.
Yeah, she shut it down. Yeah, she said she not,
But there's the talks of Dolph Ziggler not renewing his contract. He's
should've.
doing other things with his comedy tour.
Dolph Ziggler should have
And
been left.
I think he should just
He
leave.
should have been
I
left.
think he should just leave. AEW is perfect for him. Like, and we was even discussing this the other day. Like, his name is Nick Namath. Like, that's an easy name to market. That it's your own name, so you can
He
use it
changed.
anywhere.
He's changed all his social media to his real name.
So
He's doing a comedy show right outside the Royal
he
Rumble.
could be
right
double
after.
in. Double in. He has a gimmick right there. He could change his whole look. I feel like Dolph Ziggler's been held back not only because of the WWE machine, but his gimmick is too much based on Shawn Michaels and Billy Gunn.
I think he should have never left the show stealer or the show off.
He
The
should've-
show off and the show stealer. He should have just like
He
left
should have
that.
never left that at all, but still he has the essence of
And I
Shawn
still,
Michaels.
I still don't
and
understand him vacating the U.S. title.
They never gave us. That's along with.
I mean,
That's
he's on
in
the
the-
show that the title's not even on.
That's
so
in the box.
just a dead-
That's in the
just a
box
dead issue.
with GTV. You know, that storyline. There's a lot of storylines that just never it happened. But did it really?
So
Did it
Who
really?
knows?
Yeah,
we
who
had
knows?
the
Who
Young
knows?
Bucks and some of
Whoop,
the
whoop.
AEW guys actually pop up at some indie shows over the weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That was pretty awesome. That's
that is
awesome.
awesome because I thought they were going to be inactive until Double or Nothing, and we weren't going to see them until May.
Nah, I think we'll see. Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
Hey,
I think we'll definitely see the Bucks at the Bucks and Cody Hangman at a couple of events. I would not be surprised if we see them at Impact. I would not be surprised in them pop up on
I mean,
Impact.
why not? The Impact needs them right now.
Impact needs them. It's-
Impact looks scarily like it's on his
Everybody's
last legs.
everybody's-
There's rumors continuing that they're trying to sell or they might sell.
everybody. I don't want to say everybody needs each other, but it's good for business for everybody to collaborate.
shit, I don't have that channel, so
I think they
Yeah.
need to do something where they
They-
decide what the one true championship is. Kind of like back in the days, it was NWA champ.
There's too
champion.
many.
And they used to go from territory to territory.
That's what literally Nick Aldis is doing. Nick Aldis is
I mean,
bringing
he-
it back to the day where
yeah, I mean,
we'll
but
see
he's
Nick
only
Aldis
really
on AEW.
doing it at Ring of Honor right now.
We're gonna see Nick Aldis on AEW.
So
We'll probably see Nick. We might see Cody. We might see Cody as NWA champion again.
you
Maybe.
know what? I mean, that makes perfect sense for bringing a real historical title into the company from day one.
That's definitely gonna happen. That's
So
some. That's
that
definitely
makes
gonna
that makes
happen.
perfect sense to bring in Nick Aldis with the NWA title, and NWA is still not really its own thing. It's more so of
They're doing how they used to
Yeah,
do
but
it.
you
They're
also
alliance.
got-
an alliance between people.
You also have Pac, who has a title. Who has a title?
That's also another interest. Yeah, they
Like,
might.
what company is
Dreamgate. Dragon Gate. Excuse me, Dragon Gate. The
Yeah.
championship is called Dragon Gate. But yeah, Dragon
And
Gate.
he signed.
They
And he
might-
signed with them, so
That might.
and we
open
know
up the
we know
whole-
how well he
So
wrestles.
that brings a Nick Card title. So Nick
Right.
Aldis bringing in the NWA title. That
Nah,
brings us a
Pac
heavyweight
is
title.
their heavyweight champion.
That's a heavyweight title.
Pac is their heavyweight champion.
Interesting.
And he leads a stable over there. So,
But-
like, we might.
I think AEW put so much money into this company right now that I think they're just gonna debut their own AEW titles,
Absolutely.
and they absolutely need to.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think Chris Jericho is the main
Either I
pick
think
for the first
him
ever.
or Omega.
Has to
I'm not going like I'm like I know. I'm not saying like I have any insider information, but I think it's kind of obvious as wrestling marks that Omega's
Well,
probably going to go to
speaking-
He's gonna be
Speaking
the
of-
measuring stick.
Speaking on Omega, there's rumors that
Triple H.
Triple H has doubled down and called him a one last effort recently over the weekend. Doubled down on a contract with even better perks. So who knows? Who knows?
Royal
Somebody
Rumble.
said-
And he's keeping it in his back pocket. The Rumble's right around the corner. Is next weekend. So,
Yeah. He does want that match. He does want that
so
match with
we will
AJ
be
Styles.
doing a live this week in wrestling, probably during the pre-show. Right, live at 5 or live at 6.
We'll keep the people
Yeah,
updated.
we'll keep
People
them updated.
Keep people
But
updated.
we'll
Yeah.
definitely be doing another stream during the Royal Rumble. So
Yeah.
next
Absolutely.
week,
The
that's pretty much
27th.
all the news I have on my end.
So there's been some interesting things going on outside of the WWE universe. Well, but this does actually relate to the WWE universe. A lot of reports that Cien almost told Rush not to sign with WWE
Wow.
because what's going on, how they're pushing people and how things are going on, and people are saying this is Meltzer, PW Insider. These are very very reliable sources. But if Rush only says
I be on the fence with Meltzer sometimes, man.
Meltzer.
Sometimes he just throws stuff out there, and it's been proven to be the opposite.
I mean, nobody's right all the time, but Uncle Meltzer, I mean, he comes through. You know what I'm saying? He comes through. Rush only signed a 1-year deal with Ring of Honor, which is interesting. I think
deal, probably enough time to get AEW.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Enough
Seriously.
time to get AEW off the ground.
It's because they have the TV deal. They have what everybody else was already supposed to. They have the TV deal. They have the go. They have the financial backing. So it's just like, I think everybody's kind of cornering themselves and adjusting themselves for when AEW like really starts out.
I just
It's
hope,
still another 8
I
or
just
9
hope and
months.
pray that it doesn't become another WCW, because there is a lot of similarities going in from the jump
Yeah.
with the upstart of AEW, the direction the rumors are saying as
Throwing
far as
a
the
lot of
TV
money,
deal,
a lot of
throwing money at a lot of wrestlers. There's people don't like it, but there's a method to what Vince does, and there's a reason to why there's certain key aspects of contracts and why he doesn't offer certain things. Like, there's a method to the madnesses, and WWE has the best branding in the world. Period. Whether their storylines are low or their ratings are getting low, they have the best promotion, like production wise. Period. So there's reasons to it,
I'm sorry.
and that's why they have the longevity.
I'm just laughing at the.
Oh.
Mascot.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. If you hear
He's
the
a sleepy boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be careful,
No,
man. I'm gonna holler at you after the show.
if you hear him snoring, then
Yeah.
Yo,
it's
what's
because
up? Yeah, we talking
So-
wrestling over here.
that's what I had to.
You know,
Because he heard it. I'm
they
like,
have the best
"Oh,
production in the world. There's a reason they got to the levels they got, and I'm rewatching. I've been rewatching like the Attitude Era, and there's the specific parts where WCW is winning, gaining stars, people are leaving, and it's feeling how it's feeling now, and seeing how everything went, and even Brett with the situation with his contract back then, he had a crazy ass deal. Vince couldn't pay.
He didn't want to.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to pay that.
But he felt he couldn't. And the reason why is because you see instantly the production value go up, the segments, the storylines relying on the production. It's a big shift, and
I think
they have to.
the
they have to-
advantage that the Bucks
the one thing I'm not
and that
liking
Cody
is
don't
I'm
have
hearing
is
the wrestlers are starting to have creative control over there. That's the rumors that a lot of people are having.
yeah, they're not hiring writers.
Yeah, they're not
They're making
hiring
up their
writers,
stories.
and they're relying solely on the wrestlers. That was what happened in WCW.
Yeah, but you also had a bunch
It was
of
people
had a
like
bunch-
Hogan
exactly.
saying no.
people like
I'm
Hogan,
not-
people like
I'm
Scott
not
Hall,
doing
people
this.
like Kevin Nash. We have people
Yeah.
like that. The Bucks and they're not like Hogan. They're not looking to just put themselves
Right, but
always
wait.
over.
If you write it in my contract that I have creative input over my character, and I feel like this new guy doesn't deserve to be put over, a situation will happen in the back where it'll be like no Matt, no Nick and Cody. I have creative control. I don't like that direction. There's gonna be conflict. That's
I
what
mean, we
usually
don't- we
leads
don't
to
know how-
backstage tension.
We don't know how deep
backstage
that goes.
dissension and eventual.
We don't know if everybody has the creative control like that.
We don't. You know, all this is
Everybody.
speculation.
Yeah.
It's just news
I
coming
mean,
out.
I
Giving
understand why they're
opinions
going
on
that
it. We're not,
approach. I understand-
actually seeing this behind the scenes.
I
but
understand why
this
they're
is
going
what
that
happened.
approach.
This is history repeating itself. So I just hope and pray that
This
they.
is the advantage to look at history. Like they've seen all the mistakes they could have made, and it's just like guys like Hogan.
But
like,
TNA has
I'm not
the
trying to tear
same
down Hogan,
opportunity
but we see.
AEW has right
But
now.
those are the same people. When this is Eric Bischoff, and those
I mean,
those
the only
guys
difference
are,
right now is that it's
You have
the
the-
son of Dusty.
Yeah, and you had the
guys.
chance to look at history and see what you did wrong. Like Hogan and all those guys, it's always the same characters. Hogan and Bischoff, those guys ran it down. They had the opportunity to do the best thing ever, and they decided they didn't put no guys over. We seen that All In. They put guys. The main event had to get cut down because they were worried about putting everybody else over so much.
No, not even that. It was like so time precious. Like
So-
certain matches, like the last main event
Well, as
match,
far
they
as
had
all
to
the-
like
they
had to rush it
They
in.
So I'm
finished the
saying,
match
they
with
were
3
so-
seconds left on the.
That's what I'm saying.
Literally,
On the
They're,
time,
they're so
yeah.
worried
time for the
about
television.
putting everybody else over so much that the main event got cut to 3 seconds. That would have been, oh gosh, that would have been so bad for it being the first show, like it being cut off before.
That was kind of
before it
like
ended.
ECW-esque. Like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
luckily it wasn't, and
know what I'm
it was
saying?
a perfect
Nah.
event all the way around.
Listen, I have some faith in them. Of course, I love the guys from the Elite and stuff.
I see what you're saying.
But
I see.
there's always that hope. Like, please don't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
And there's rumors that a lot of these guys are going in with creative input on their in their contract. And if that is a valid thing, I think that's a mistake. And we saw the repercussions of people having creative control over their characters. This is a business at the end of the day.
I think it might
You
be
know?
some. It might be like
People go into business for themselves.
Yeah. But
You know?
I think the thing with the non-riders is just like create your character, but like at the like before everything goes out, it does kind of get like a final say. So probably like with Cody and the Bucks, like all right, like oh, this is what you came with. All right, well maybe we'll take this out, maybe we'll add this. All right, boom, that's it. I don't think it's gonna be like straight. Oh no, like I'm going over tonight. And it's like nah, but that's not in the storyline.
Yeah.
Like so,
I'm-
I see.
Like I said, I
see what
hope
you're
there's faith, but I hope I have faith, but I hope.
I just hope that they don't
learn.
have us. They actually do some like side events leading up to the Double or Nothing. Their
Like
pay per
actual
view.
storyline
Yeah.
wise. I honestly think
Not
it-
just
That's
throw
what being the
everybody.
Olympics.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
should.
but I
we shouldn't
mean,
have
like,
to see
actually-
just we should see actual matches, like how Jericho debuted on one of these pay per views, and then what's his name, Naito, and then they fought in another pay per view. Like we need to see things like that. So when we go in there, it's not just hey, this is AEW's first pay per view,
We didn't see
and we're
anything
just
for
hyped
All
for
In.
that.
We didn't see anything for All
No,
In.
we did. We did. A
No, we
lot
did.
A lot of those bills ran through Ring of Honors and New Japan.
That's true.
And
yeah,
they went
true,
and
true,
they did
true.
a lot of like the story building up on being the elite.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think most of the story is
So-
going to be built up on being.
And it was
elite.
the same thing when they did the Jericho Cruise with White
Jericho
Jackson.
Cruise, that was a whole
versus
nother
the-
universe. I think.
Yeah, but
The
I'm
Cruise
saying
was a whole nother
they
universe.
built it was like, hey, Jericho and the Young Bucks tag team against freaking,
Was it the last time they
The
went by the
Bullet
Bullet
Club.
Club? The last time we by the Bullet Club, yeah. That was awesome.
there was a story built there. But like I hope like they put out some events and be like, hey, we're gonna be in this city, like buy tickets now.
They
Yeah.
definitely need to. If they're gonna rely on the partnership between Ring of Honor or New Japan or even this, it was the bar wrestling.
Yeah.
It was random indie promotions. If they're gonna rely on that, fuck it, go all in on that and let's have a few matches in indie promotions. You're giving shine to those indie promotions and building up
We might not, yo.
the
We might.
fundamentals from that.
We might not
There's,
see
you
any
know,
matches. We might just see
I
builds
mean,
up to matches. We might not see
the
like any
only-
physical contact.
The only
We
build
think it's
that
kinda
we
cool, though.
got from the AW press conference was Pat versus Hangman.
They might go that.
That was like the only one that was like sparks are flying. Like this is the match we want to see. Like we can't wait to see this at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Like we already know that match is gonna happen because the tensions between them two at the press conference. So we know that's gonna be definitely one of the
We
matches.
might not see any physical contact though. Like they might do this like kind of like a boxing thing, like where there's no physical contact. Even though it is wrestling, like there might be no physical contact. You're gonna know all the matches. You'll get the entire card, but nobody probably will touch anybody until that night. Which in a way is very interesting because we have all this build up and then everything just happens.
we
just,
don't even have. Besides Adam Page, we don't even have matches yet. So
Yeah.
No, that's just the only thing.
Yeah.
Maze, how far is Maze?
I don't say I have blind
5
faith in them,
months?
but from All In is just like this is kind of the same thing with All In. Like they announced All In, it's like yeah, shit is gonna be sold out. Nothing.
Nah, they had a couple months build up, like building the card and revealing it over time.
I think that's the same thing we're gonna get. The same thing we're gonna
They
get.
have
We're
4
gonna
months
build
to
it
do
up.
it.
This is big, honestly, this is gonna be bigger than All In, really.
But I like the fact that I think it's a smart idea that they're still doing
Hell yeah.
indie shows
Yeah.
for the simple
MGM
fact that
the
they're
MGM
also
held WrestleMania at one point.
business aspect. If you look at it, they're also scouting out talent. Maybe going to these indie shows like yo, I actually like this
No,
match.
that's what I'm.
Like
that's what
I
I'm
want to
saying.
sign this
They're
guy.
probably dealing with the promotions like the bar wrestling that a lot of people probably don't even hear of, and using their talent to not only put them over, but possibly a relationship. Like, hey, you can join our show, and make a developmental situation, because I think that's the biggest aspect AEW needs is a developmental system.
Yeah.
So
Why you say developmental system?
not so much a developmental like a WWE Performance Center,
Mhm.
but developmental system as far as there's these guys in like the bar wrestling that are actually putting on great matches, and the guys who get big there and hit their prime there can move on to AEW and get that first spotlight on an AEW show.
Mm.
So, not really have like an FCW that it's under their AEW and that's the only people they're pulling from. Actually doing a relationship with what is it? All AEWC is the Chinese one?
OEW?
OEW.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but we don't even know. Like, we might. I would assume that. I mean, Pac would have dropped the title if he still wasn't working with Dragon Gate. So
and he has his whole faction over there. and
there
stuff.
might be from Dragon Gate, OEW.
Well, let's save
There's a
that for
lot.
let's save the rest of this for like the discussion.
General
we have.
discussion, yeah.
This was a general discussion.
Pretty much.
To
So,
be honest with you, this is 20 minutes. This literally was.
I mean, what's news? You got any more news?
This Meltzer originally gave Tanahashi vs Omega 5.5 stars, and he went back and watched it and gave it 5.75 stars.
Which match? Tanahashi versus Omega. What was the original rating?
5.5.
5.5, and he went back and gave it 5.75.
Because he had the chance to watch it on TV. I mean, it is different
Oh my
watching.
God.
It is different watching it.
He's
a
like,
match
you
live.
get a star, and you get a star, and you get a star. Like, it's now
I mean, I gave it 5 stars. I mean, I don't really like to go over 5, but I gave it 5
It was
stars.
okay. It was okay. I give it a solid 4 stars.
I definitely give it 5
Yeah,
stars.
4
on
stars
Awesome
for
Video.
me. I just hate the ending. A person like Kenny Omega, you high impact finish this man. He's V-triggering the shit out of people left and right.
It was a high impact move.
No, it wasn't.
The high five
You
is
can
a-
clearly see.
is a
You
fraud.
can clearly see him
High five
catch
flow
it.
is a-
It was a horrible splash. I do not like the high five. Tanahashi is a good wrestler. To take nothing away from him, but better. He could have put off a better finish.
That's his
Kenny Omega,
finisher.
That's his finish.
That's
A
his
better
finisher.
finish. A better
That's his
finish.
finish.
Exactly my point. A better
That's his
finish.
finisher.
You need a better finish.
He took him down. He's
We
eight
can
times.
agree to
We
disagree.
can, of course.
Like-
That's my opinion. But
Yeah.
That's it.
I want to see Omega get like damn near knocked the fuck out to lose the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
You know how many V triggers?
You
It was
want-
V
you wanna
triggers
get-
season.
You want to get Tombstone Piles Driver through like 2 Japanese
I
tables.
mean, it don't have to be. I don't listen. I never
Oh,
promote
those
the Japanese tables. I do
Those
not want a
Japanese
single
tables
star
are crazy.
going through a Japanese table. So no. The Japanese tables are not over with.
So
me.
my boy Delonte says, I want to know where you guys see AEW in 2 years. Who would like to go
AEW in
first?
2 years. The way I see AEW in 2 years, the way it's starting, depending on the TV deal, everything depends on the TV deal. So, if this first
So do
year,
you see them having a TV deal in 2 years?
I can see them having a
they need a TV deal
this year.
announced now. They need the TV deal announced by Double or Nothing.
What we're saying, the question is, where do you see AEW
It depends
in
on
2
the TV
years?
deal. If they don't have a TV deal by the end of this year, I see them still being recognized as an overpriced indie circuit. Now, if they get the TV deal and they get that nationwide recognition, then I see them as possible contenders for a war with WWE if they want to book it that way, or just a definite contender in the market as someone looked in the light of WWE. There's no one in 10, 15 years plus that has been looked at as a WCW. Even TNA in its prime with the same amount of financial backing that AEW has now.
They never had the same financial backing that AEW has.
No,
they
they
never
did.
had
They did.
They
Look them up.
never had the same
Look
financial
them up.
backing.
He
as-
said
They fuck with all you. They fuck with all you. Yes. That's all your money, Papa. That's money.
Dixie Carter was really rich.
Her daddy is the rich one. It's the same situation.
And they put that much money. They put $100 million in the TNA.
Look it up. I'm not gonna say exactly because I never looked up the exact number.
It don't matter.
But
They
TNA
book the shit anyway, so it don't matter.
TNA definitely had production, better production value than any other independent organization to this date.
They did.
So there was money put behind it,
Uh-huh.
and they did try to go on tour and all that shit. If it failed with them, they relegated themselves to Universal Studios, which WCW originally was based in Universal
But-
Studios. So there's a lot. That's why it all depends on the TV deal. If AEW gets that TV deal by the end of this year and start next year with a deal, definite contenders. But they have to get on a TV deal because then you're gonna be looked at as everybody else. Just another developmental. And with the steam that they got going, and the way that they sell shirts and sell merch, and the way the fans are behind them, they can do it. Get that TV deal.
So he's saying a lot actually. He's like, so here's my first before he asked where do we see AEW. He said, here's my problem. How many indie shows do they have to do before they have a strong roster?
That's and that was my point. A few episodes back that they need a roster. They need to get on a roster fast. Right now we only have, let's say, 8 to 10 guys. Well, let's not even include the Elite. Because we knew that was already coming in.
Yeah.
We already seen Elite versus Elite. We don't want to see that no more. We want to see new faces, new matches. So they probably have 6 people right now.
Plus, you also have like the Japanese.
The Japanese
they're
section.
coming.
That
They
group-
haven't even mentioned yet.
Well, no, they did mention. I forgot the name of the faction, but it's a good handful of people in that faction. But yeah, they need to establish their roster, and they need to establish their roster quick. Because I'll tell you right now, if they keep relying on, hey Vince, we're right next door, or hey guys, there's money. Vince is gonna lock down his contracts, and he's gonna say go to AEW in 2 years after your contract expire, and 9 months after the contract clause that you can't even compete, whatever it is, 90 days or whatever, or how many months you can't even compete after. So yeah, do that. Or take the shine I'm about to give you, take the little storylines you're about to get your shine here. That's what he's doing. Because they're not even doing it in a negative way right now.
No, they
Going
don't.
into this role, we'll talk more about that. But any other questions before we move on? Because
he asked the TV deals, which is TBS or
TBS, TNT, or I heard CW.
CW.
So
He's like, are they a new WCW without Kenny?
Well,
first off, to answer
we don't know if Kenny.
to answer the first question, the AEW is definitely going to, like I said, I don't have any inside knowledge, but I mean, just listen to Chris Jericho's podcast. They're getting in a TV deal. It's just not a matter of when; it's a matter of where. And in 2 years, I don't see them trying to beat competition. A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be Monday Night Wars all over again. I don't even see them. I see AEW focusing on AEW. I see AEW not doing the same stupid mistakes that TNA and WCW did. Just doubling down on their products, worrying about their guys, worrying about their storylines, and they know their audience. That's the one key difference they have between WWE and AEW audience. I feel like in some aspects WWE does, but I feel like in a lot of ways the reason why we're seeing why WWE has to come out and say they suck is because they really don't know their audience or they're not listening to us. The difference with the Elite is that they listen to their audience. In 2 years, I'm not going to say competition, but I say that Tuesday Night Dynamite is going to be a successful wrestling show on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
That's
I
what I see.
think AEW is gonna stick around.
My only thing I gotta disagree with what you said. I agree with most of what you said. Is the fact that they don't want to focus on WWE. They have not went of being the Elite without mentioning WWE in the past probably 6 months. That's half a year of teasing WWE. You use Spencer on being the Elite. That's one. Two, even though they're based in Jacksonville, you strategically put it right before Tuesday Night SmackDown, so people can go to AEW to SmackDown with AEW merch. That was a business strategy on their part. Not only that, before AEW even existed, the Elite tried to invade Raw and recreate the DX movement. They've been coming at WWE ever since they got Cody into the Bullet Club. Period. They've been bouncing off of WWE ever since Cody joined.
Yep.
That's just pure facts. So, going forward, yeah, I see a war. I see a war on the horizon because that's how you've been building it. The only person I see that had that straight up saying, I'm good, is the GOAT, Chris Jericho, because he does have good ties with WWE. But the rest of them guys are like, we're going to do better than them. Their whole press conference, I have the video, 11 things that came out of it. Almost every single one was a rebuttal to what WWE is either not providing or what's wrong with WWE right now. It was literal, we're not those other guys. We're going to do this. We're not those other
That's
guys.
what people want to hear.
That's what people want to hear, but you can't say that they're not going into their business into these first couple months of this promotion without WWE on their mind. So far, they're literally on Twitter talking to people saying, hey, there's better opportunities. You want to know your worth? Come here. They're saying it's to Ty Dillinger and a lot of other people. It's
Good.
literally happening.
Good.
It's literally happening. So let's just get that clear. AEW is starting on the same foot as WCW. With a person
Ted
like...
Turner came out and said, I'm trying to take Vince out of business.
Exactly.
I've never heard any of the guys from the Elite saying that we're trying to take these guys out of business. They want to be an alternative
Right,
to the
they want
WWE.
to be an alternative, but in order to be the alternative, you have to acknowledge your competition.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you can't say that they're not going in without a competitive mindset and not thinking about WWE.
Yeah, it's competitive, but it's not. I like they're not coming. Yo, it's gonna be the Monday Night Wars. Where this is
they're gonna war for. Of course, first of
it's
all,
a war for attention. Yeah, it's a war for attention.
205 Live, or how Focus Moody Christian did Leo 5 Live, is back on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So they're already putting content and locking down the week the way they used to have it.
Man, 205 Live barely makes top 10 of things watched on WWE Network.
That
I'm
is
sorry.
an opinion.
That's not an opinion. That's a fact.
Which is why you should.
That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a
Why-
fact.
why-
Go look it up. Don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. It's barely.
I gotta see the sources on
It
that.
barely cracks.
Everybody watches
You can go look
205
these things
Live.
up. It barely cracks the top 10 of things to
Go watch
look.
205
And I love 205 Live, but it barely cracks the top 10.
On the WWE
Reruns of ENC get watched
99.
more than 205
I
Live,
don't know.
which is whack. But it's not.
I'm-
It's not my opinion. I'm telling you.
got
it's
it.
fact.
Yeah, wait, let's wrap this up.
Facts.
I'm not arguing that.
Keep
fact.
with the questions. We'll get back
Yes,
to
yes,
you.
that-
We got a lot to cover. We
Definitely keep
KO
the
jump.
definitely keep the questions up.
KO does not jump. Hold on, he still asks a question. KO does not jump because KO's contract to like 2021 or maybe like 20. Kevin Owens.
KO has no reason to jump.
yeah no.
KO has been treated exactly how he should.
His last one was horrible, but besides his last one,
everyone has that run where they take the dive for people. Everyone has
that last one was
But he was still
unexcusable.
kept in the main event.
Yes.
And he was still kept with the person who was built for the main
He was
event.
always
So
on
regardless
Raw.
of how bad his run is, Braun Strowman would have had no steam if it wasn't for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is in a great spot. The only Universal Champion that even got a decent run. The Universal title, I think Kevin Owens. I don't think Finn Balor winning it first. I don't think Brock Lesnar because it's been the worst reign in history. I think Kevin
That's
Owens, and I
facts.
think the Festival of Friendship and that whole build and that whole year. That's what I think about. Kevin Owens has been treated like gold. NXT champion almost instantly. Instant rivalries with everybody. First night taking down John Cena. United States title. He's been treated like gold. Damien does not go out without a title. This last run was probably trash because this is the actual first run. KO didn't have a belt.
No, I wasn't about him not having
Yeah.
a belt. I just hated
But
the way he got squashed
He was a
by
side
Braun
dude.
for like
He
9
was a
months.
side dude for the first time.
Yeah, and
He was a side player.
And his contract's not up
So-
for like 2020.
Nah,
I don't really see
KO has
KO.
no need to jump.
I don't
now,
see KO.
Sami Zayn, maybe. But even Sami Zayn's been getting, with his heel turn, he finally got the steam that WWE was looking for, and he has been pushed in main event ways. You know, Sami's
The
enjoying
reason why
being
I
off.
can see anybody jumping is because of you still get you can work less still get paid maybe a little bit less, maybe some guys maybe a little bit more, and the creativity. That's my biggest thing is the money and the creativity. That's why I see like I think anybody might be liable to jump. Because the money, like, we're going to offer you this, and you're not going to be working this. I don't think KO's going to jump.
Creative freedom,
and
but with restrictions.
Y2J means everything for them. I think Y2J is, like
Y2J is
he's the rub. He gave him the rub.
Y2J is going to be their future Hall of Famer
He's the
if
rub.
they ever want to make it to them.
Y2J gave him the rub.
Y2J is going to be the whole reason they succeed within their first 2 years.
He's the whole show right now.
He's going to be the whole show. And if Kenny does sign, possibly Kenny too, but Y2J is going to bring that notoriety. He's going to bring that legacy. And AEW is going to be on the back of
Yeah,
Y2J.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Any more questions before we move on?
I think
We could do them in between segments. We'll look at the chats and see what.
Johnny Wrestling wrestled at Evolve this weekend. He won. The Street Profits went 1-1, and that is it.
That's all for news.
That's it for the news.
All right, so that was the good news. That was the bad news, and let's move on to Monday Night Raw.
Finally, a good Monday night. I just have to put it out there. The first of the new year.
In my opinion, great Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Rich,
Great.
what you think about the Monday Night Raw?
It was okay. It was just okay
But then wearing the Raw colors.
with AJ Styles. Just want to point that out. Just want to point that out as an AJ
Anyways,
Styles shirt.
let's get to this greatness because the first thing they did on Monday Night Raw is open with Vince McMahon. His cocky ass is here with getting out.
No chance.
Spot shines his limo like, here, clean that.
Just what is it?
You know, trying to show you how
Foreshadowing.
important that limo is to him.
A little foreshadowing.
Braun Strowman comes out, opens up the show, blah, blah, blah. This promo was actually better, way better than last week in the show.
Every promo he's ever done is better than what he
Yeah,
did.
so what he did last week was atrocious. But this week he actually got back and said, that was the first time he's been back in a while since injury. So maybe he got the rust off. But good promo. Corbin interrupts him obviously because Corbin's a douche.
We don't have a soundbar for that. Boo.
I think actually we do.
We
But,
do? Say that
I'll
name
find
again.
I gotta get back on my sunlights.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
I got a gimmick.
More
Don't worry.
of
Next
that.
time, I have to, I'll get back to a couple.
But we don't have the boo, but we have.
Captain Planet.
Baron Corbin still in there.
Captain Planet.
Still in the main event.
Corbin interrupts, and he's trying to, basically talk him down and say why he deserves it. Blah blah blah. He ends up chasing him to the back. Funny thing. Elias is in the back playing his guitar, and Braun is going crazy looking for him, and he just sings. he just sings about the fact that he just saw him passing by and is hiding in the limo.
I feel like that should just kind of be Elias. So, like, they don't need like an intro. They don't need anybody to come out. You just need Elias to just sing.
Listen,
what's
once you hear the guitar strings, you already know
Elias should just narrate all of Raw. So.
WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
We have that.
Yeah, man.
We a little slacking because we were way more talkative, I guess, with this.
Yeah.
WWE stands for.
That's why people with laptops should also have laptops.
Thank you. Shout out to my homie Delonte who said boo to Monday Night Raw. Thank you. Thank you, because it was okay. It was very okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So let's get back to this great Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, right.
He's
still wearing Raw colors.
It's the AJ Styles shirt.
Hey, AJ used to be on Raw too, and that's when he was on Raw.
But there was a house at AJ Styles, that's when he really,
Moving on. So he chases Corbin. Corbin's hiding in Vince's limo. He ends up putting a pipe through the window. Corbin comes out and runs off, and then Vince pops up and he's like, "What the fuck you did to my limo?" Fined them $100,000. Braun Strowman said that's bullshit. That you know, the junk is not worth $100,000. He says, "Oh, you want to be a smart ass? Strip some of the number one contendership." That's the first thing I wanted. I don't want to see Braun versus Brock. We've seen it already.
Too many times.
Like, we've seen it already.
Do you know the story behind it though, right?
What, that he's still injured and he's...
Oh, no. Braun's cleared. Braun is cleared. That was always gonna be. This is always the case. They did classic Vince bait and switch.
Well,
so he didn't have. See, it's funny that you brought this up in the
I
storyline.
They
believe.
I think I know what you're talking
He
about.
said that they believed in Finn,
that
but he
Brock
really didn't
picked
believe Finn. Nah, yeah, Brock picked Finn, but he sold Braun versus Brock. But they were always gonna switch it. It was always gonna be Finn versus Brock, and he's not gonna bring up the demon. He's not gonna bring up the demon. But I'm glad he's not gonna bring up the demon because he doesn't want the demon to lose. He's protecting the demon.
I'm hoping that he wins because we believe in Finn Balor.
I believe in it
And
too,
in
but it
WWE,
is what it is though.
This is my test. This is my test to
But I
WWE.
do hope he brings out the demon.
If
though.
they let
We all
Brock
want
Lesnar
it.
walk out with the Universal
winning.
title, they are tone deaf. Regardless of everything else that they're doing right now, they are tone deaf. If they let him walk out with that title, Brock is an event on his own. He does not need the main belt. Putting the strap on Finn Balor solidifies in the fans' minds that, hey, they actually doing what we want.
True.
We're seeing what the fuck we want.
True.
And they're finally fucking listening.
True.
So
And
if
you
they don't...
finally have a fighting champion who's gonna be on Monday Night Raw with
Who
the
else is more
title
fighting than Finn
every
Balor?
single
True.
So
time.
moving on,
True.
gets stripped of the title shot, ends up flipping the limo. Classic Raw. It didn't look as fake as the ambulance this time. It actually got the good angles. But
Got the up the camera trick.
High
Yeah,
five.
yeah, yeah.
Up the
Clap.
editing,
You know,
man.
you
Up
know
the
what?
editing, man.
Clap to the
There's
cameraman.
the
Clap to the cameraman.
Hey, pal.
put the camera over here.
Listen, Kevin.
Hey,
Kevin, get the other one, Kevin. Come on.
No, the camera guy was fired. So
Time to leave.
no, you're the shot. You're the shot. So
Hunter doesn't direct. Hasn't anything to do with Raw.
he's backstage though. He's usually backstage.
He's in the
He's just
production
there
truck.
watching.
Yeah,
He's just there
he's
watching.
listening.
He's in the truck.
He's there
I
listening.
refuse to believe Triple H has anything to do with that.
Lies.
I mean, he doesn't write or really produce that show. He's NXT.
He's just
obviously.
there. He's just another
But
eye.
you know, he does his thing. I like everything Triple H has done for WWE. But
Absolutely.
so yeah, moving on from that segment, it flips the limo. Now we have the contendership in the air. We have a whole bunch of segments of stars lining up to Vince's office and looking for a shot. We have the NXT people in the background. We have a whole bunch of people that
Don't just skip over that. Do not just skip over that.
Why would I skip over it when I said news about it earlier?
Do not just skip over that.
It was
Like,
literally my news.
like they have not been pumping on Raw and SmackDown these NXT call-ups for like 52,000 weeks, and then they finally come up, and EC3.
I don't think 3 weeks is 52,000 weeks.
Yo, they've been pumping. It's been longer than 3
And-
weeks. They've been pumping this for like at least a
Heavy
month.
Machinery has already been on 2 different shows. EC3 is the only person I agree with you.
Count the
They've
sins.
had
Yes.
Count the
Nikki
sins.
has already debuted on Raw.
The Sims.
Count the
Nikki has already
sins.
debuted on Raw.
Defending.
And
Pritchard,
SmackDown.
She had a good
Pritchard it up.
highlight.
I'm listening. Pritchard it
I'm
up.
not Pritchard it up.
Pritchard.
These are
Literally.
facts.
Literally,
But these
she's
are
the
facts.
only one out of the NXT
You-
come-ups
the
that
only-
has
the only-
debuted
the only
on
argument
TV.
that I feel is valid. What you're saying is how EC3 was probably just smiling, but that's typical EC3 segments where he's checking himself out or lifting weights and shit like that.
Don't forget about
Until
Lacey
they-
Evans just
until they figure
randomly
out-
standing in the back talking
Until
about
they
my name.
figure out where they're gonna place these people. Understand? There's a lot of change. A lot
So
of
then
changes
why the
backstage.
hell even bring them up then? Why would you even bring it? Why?
Because
why bring 'em up
probably
then?
these people were already intended to come up anyways.
But I'm saying, I know, I understand that, but like, you have all these previews. They've been previewing this for like a month. They've been previewing, oh, NXT call-ups, NXT call-ups, NXT call-ups. And then they finally get up here. And then, oh, we're going to put on both shows because we don't know what to do with them. So then, why? This is literally making my head hurt. This is literally making my head, because it literally makes no sense how $1 billion company doesn't know what to do with them when you've been previewing them for weeks. So in between this time, nobody thought, oh, nobody had an idea for this?
That's why.
That's so dumb. God damn it. This is WCW shit. This is what WCW was doing. This is dumb.
First of all,
shit,
WCW
man.
never,
This is dumb shit.
WCW never did that because they never took
right.
Thunder serious. Period.
Well, not
So
Thunder, but
and the main event was never went to the second
just
show.
the idea
So
is
that's
just dumb, man.
WCW never did that.
This NXT shit is. I mean,
No other
this is-
company
this
was
is
even in
dumb.
a position to have a draft.
I think it's just dumb.
Let's be real.
It's just dumb.
They're gonna
No
have
other
the
company
last
is
play.
even in the position where they can even have a draft in their own program.
It still doesn't justify
Where they can
what this
switch
NXT
people
stuff
for
is
different
dumb.
rosters.
It still doesn't
I'm
justify it
telling
being
you,
dumb.
they're gonna end the brand split.
The brand split is coming. We have the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I'm skipping segments here.
But how?
This becomes this
but how-
weekend discussion.
Yeah, that's
Like,
great. Yeah, because Raw and SmackDown both kind of end this week. So,
That's crazy.
but here's the thing: how
That's
was the
one
brand-
man's opinion.
How was the brand split gonna end? Well, there's a lot of people that said Raw was very mad this week. Just
And there was a
mad
lot of people that since Raw have been hashtagging We Believe in Finn and going crazy that we have Bobby Lashley as the new Intercontinental Champion. Because let me get Raw.
which I did like
at
that.
least.
Yeah.
My
I like that.
bad.
Then we have Finn Balor not only earning his number one contendership, but being booked fucking strong, which I have in my notes.
Finally.
Being booked strong, beating Jinder in the match where he got attacked in the beginning, went in hurt, still ended up beating everybody in the Fatal 4-Way.
Including
Like,
John Cena.
that's not just shit. And this is the problem I have with wrestling forums. And I'm not saying this from a
I agree with that.
WWE fanboy perspective. I'm looking at wrestling as a whole. I love all wrestling. How can you complain about certain things they do and then complain when they give it to you?
Oh, I could just tell you from here.
Finn Balor becomes the number one contender for the Universal Championship. Something we've been dying for over a year, and Raw's meh. Raw's just okay.
Yeah, it wasn't
we get
so bad.
Bobby Lashley. People complain about race and all this. You finally get a black Intercontinental Champion, and something finally done with Bobby Lashley, and Raw was Raw was okay.
It was
We
okay.
finally get the women's tag team titles debuted on show, and they're fucking amazing.
The book.
The bug.
And we get the announcement that they're going to be, for the first time, defended in the Elimination Chamber. 3 teams from Raw, 3 teams from SmackDown, which hints towards a brand split ending. And Raw was meh?
It was okay. Yeah, Raw
You're
was
talking
okay.
about one segment on a 3-hour show that turned you off to everything?
Oh
like,
no,
you're not
that's
being
just one
fair to the
part.
product.
So that's just one part.
Right now, it just feels like you have
It's okay.
elitism.
It's okay.
Fickle.
You have elitism.
It's not because I feel like
please, this
it's
is the
not,
best
'cause
time
I
for
feel
that.
like I feel like SmackDown was just okay this week.
Oh my
either.
god. Oh my god.
Keep going through Raw. I can pick. I can pick.
I can't go through Raw.
'Cause I can
I
keep
literally
picking apart.
had to spoil
I
the
can
segment
pick
because
apart
you
first.
keep
It was
saying how
okay.
it was. Did you even watch Raw?
Yeah,
in its
we
entirety this week?
were texting while we were watching
'Cause-
Raw. Yeah, it was
and
okay.
If
It
we
was
go,
okay.
listen. The crazy thing is, if we go through our text messages,
It was okay.
more of that.
More of that.
More
More
of
of
that.
that.
And
It
you
was okay.
While
It
we
was
was watching
okay.
the show, you was marking out. Stop.
It was okay.
That's the elite.
It was
That's the
okay.
elite.
It has nothing.
AEW
It has nothing to do with
mentality.
AEW.
No,
We're not even
because-
talking about
yes, it
AEW.
is, because
But-
The reason why I say it like that, I'm grouping you in that concept, is because I see this on the wrestling forums every single day. It's people who, now that they have the alternative, they can't see the positive that's happening, and they can't see the change.
I've been shitting on WWE since forever.
Since
I always shit on
since you got
WWE.
an option.
No,
Since
I've
New-
been shitting on
since
WWE
New-
since
listen,
forever.
Since New Japan
Since I
became
started
the
watching
option,
WWE when I went to WrestleMania
Since
10
New
years
Japan-
ago, I've
since
been
New
shitting
Japan-
on. No.
New Japan became an option?
I've been shitting on
Come on.
WWE since forever.
No,
since I
bro.
got
We
back
can't-
into wrestling
we can't
10
even get
years
through a Raw
ago.
segment.
I've been shitting on
without
wrestling.
shitting on it. But yet
I've been
everything I just said was positive changes that we've been dying for. We've been dying for.
Just
And it was okay.
They gave us everything we've been dying
And
for.
it was okay. It was okay.
That
It
is
was alright. It was
crazy.
okay. This is an
I
okay
can't,
Raw.
like that's it. It's elite markism because at the
It
end
has
of the
nothing
day,
to do with the
when
elite.
the
Because I've been
conversation-
shitting on
when the
WWE since I started
conversation
watching
swerved-
wrestling again
when the
10 years
conversation
ago.
swerved
I always should, just like
to
I said,
that
I shit on them out of
promotion, any of
love.
those
It has nothing to
promotions.
do with AEW. You're
Come
talking about
on.
AEW. This has nothing to do with AEW.
Because
I'm gonna
the-
shit on
because the shift in
I'm always gonna
conversation-
shit on them.
There's a shift.
I'm
There's
always
a
gonna shit on
tone.
them.
Going through these episodes, there's a shift and there's a tone whenever we go off of independent wrestling and go to the show, to WWE. You literally
Is that why I call? Is that why I
we
always
have
call
a debate.
SmackDown the A
we
show?
have a debate weekly of how you think Raw was shitty, and then you say certain things, and then I have to say, but no, this happened. Oh, okay. Like, come on, give credit where credit's due. I'm gonna call you out on that because it's
good. This is good.
Just like everybody on the forums. If you really love all of wrestling, you'll give credit where credit is due. I don't like Impact worth a fucking damn, but when they pull off a good match that caught my eye, I'm talking positive things about Impact. I'm not gonna say it was mad. Saying Finn Balor, the leader of the Bullet Club, the first ever, as historic as much as you mark out for Finn Balor, to say that his rise to even be able to get out of the rut and be in #1 contendership, and say that show that happened for him was just okay. You're not a fan of Finn Balor.
Yes, it was just okay because we shouldn't even been in this position in the first place. That's why. We should have never even been in this position in the first place.
So when they write their wrong,
that's why it's just okay.
When they write their wrong,
they
switch the programming.
They're starting to right the wrongs. It's okay.
What was it?
They're starting to right the wrongs.
What was happening in the 80s?
I give them the wrongs.
It was going down. Ratings went in the club.
Yeah, but in the 80s they didn't have $1 billion. They didn't have $1 billion.
The new generation.
In the 80s they didn't have this roster. In the 80s they didn't have social media.
The 80s had a better roster. What are you talking about?
The 80s has a better roster than
almost
now?
everybody that was churned out almost every single person that was churned out in the 80s was a brand in their own right.
So you're gonna put the 80s roster against today?
Macho Man, brand. Hulk Hogan, brand. Lex Luger was a brand back then. Fucking who else? Ric Flair. All these other people, almost every single person was a brand in their own, and they stood out without the company. Without a WWE
I'm thinking in-ring, and the way you're talking about, in the way you're talking about. I'm thinking about like
everybody.
In-ring,
The whole package, total package. The 80s had a better roster because half these dudes.
In-ring is way better than it is in the 80s.
No,
in-ring is the best
course,
ever.
Because the speed of the athleticism, everything increased over the years. Of course, that's evolution in sports. It's just like basketball. They weren't crossing over people until somebody did it for the first time. You feel me? So it's an evolution through wrestling. But the total package back then, the roster was way more stacked because they came with their own personas. They came with their own in-ring ability, their own wrestling styles. Now everything is carbon copy. Even people in the indies, they're taking styles from other people. The only people that really have been standing out is a couple of the Ring of Honor guys, a couple of the elite guys, and now they're throwing shine and letting the rest of the world know about New Japan. Come on, bro. My point in all of this is if people really love all wrestling, you give credit where credit is due. You're not going to say, oh, it's shitty, but they're literally like, yo, this is what you want, and we're still working on it. And then what happens down the line with that mentality? Oh, it's still trash. And we're pumping this to viewers who are going to just view what we're saying, and they're like, fucking WWE's trash. And then a year from now, 2 years from now, who knows? They're in a rut. They're going under. Why? Not because they're not producing good content. Because the viewership is biased. We see things like that happen with movies. There's a good general population who love Aquaman that just came out. But then there's a good negative wave that's just like, Marvel is a better company. So anything that's not Marvel is not relevant. And that's what we have to avoid in these conversations.
Absolutely.
All wrestling is relevant.
And that's exactly why I always go out of my way to give them credit when they credit. You can go back in past conversations where I go out of my way to give WWE credit. And the reason why I always shit them because it's always coming from a place of love. And like I was saying,
you can't tell me
I always shit on
as
WWE.
A Balor fan.
I always shit on WWE.
You can't tell me
we should have never been
Lashley fan.
We should have never been in this
finally won the title,
okay.
And he finally went
WWE is trying. WWE is trying.
You
It's okay.
finally say, "Fuck!" Finally, yes.
I did.
Those are other moments we live for as fans.
Yeah, those, and it was okay. It's
those
okay.
Those are the
this is an okay moment. This is okay, bro. Okay. And it's my opinion for Raw to be okay because you're going, what culture said it was okay?
No.
Meltzer said the same thing.
Right.
Wrestle Talk.
And I'm going to be the one opinion that does
people
not follow.
Say the same thing.
And that is my point.
That's perfect.
I'm going to be the one opinion that does not follow those
There's fans like you and there's fans like me.
But when I'm running through the segment and I'm trying to give these people a straight shot, every time it was just like, you can't do that. I'm not doing that when Ring of Honor is being talked about. I'm not doing that. I'm not like, oh yeah, but the production is fucking horrible and there was a whole bunch of these botches, Last Homecoming and everything like that, and the Impact overall quality was trash. Why is Abyss still in the fucking ring? I didn't do that.
You should.
I gave them credit for everything they did.
It's something that you don't like. You should call them out on it. You should call them out on it.
I'm not going to drag down
I'm
Well,
not dragging.
I want to
I'm
highlight
not
the
dragging
positives
down Raw
of
though.
what these companies
I'm
bring
not dragging
to the
down
fans.
Raw.
I don't want to highlight their negatives. I want to highlight their positives. The only reason we highlight negatives on Raw is because it's a public situation where they admitted that the fans and the viewership is in decline and they need to restructure their. That's why it's even a conversation topic. But the point of this podcast is to highlight the positives of all promotions, whether it's WWE or it's the bar wrestling. You feel me? And that's my point. I couldn't even get through a segment. I couldn't even get through my segments, bro. I had to literally skip everything because you shitted on the whole show without highlighting none of the positives. None of the positives. So, Finn Balor's #1 contender. Bobby Lashley's Intercontinental Champion. Ronda had a good promo with Sasha Banks, and that was Raw, bro.
Come on, man. This is a great Raw. Don't say it like that now, man. Don't,
I mean,
don't look. Come on, man.
It's just,
Dude, defend your territory, bro. Defend your territory, bro.
I think I defended
Don't say, oh,
I'm trying to run through my segments
Bobby Lashley's
also.
Intercontinental Champion. Like, I'm not shitting and saying that was bad because I'm glad Bobby Lashley was that.
So how can you say this?
I thought it was
this is my
okay.
point.
I thought
There
it was
an
okay. It was an okay
The
Raw.
problem that you have
It was
was
an
one
okay
segment.
Raw. That was not. That was not just one part. No.
Yo, for real.
No, that wasn't just one part that I had.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is next in our conversation?
SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown.
So we got
Believe me, because SmackDown fell off the rails after this one match. All right, so SmackDown opened up with Becky Lynch. She hopped out the SUV. She looked. Oh, we're gonna get to AJ. We're gonna get to AJ.
Continue to blow. Let me remind you that this is the house that AJ Styles.
All right.
SmackDown.
So SmackDown opened up with Becky. She hopped out the SUV and she just pulled up. She pulled up, and we had a Heavy Machinery and the New Day in the parking lot, and they were making like a smoothie with pancakes. And
That shit was
chicken,
disgusting.
it looks crazy, but Becky grabbed it and drank it and said it wasn't. What did she say? Like it was a little bit light for her or something like that. I hope they did. I'm thinking they did like a kind of a camera trick because I hope. she
No,
was
they
gonna drink
did.
that.
Like you see, Heavy Machinery's like
Yeah,
grab it
because-
like just like probably like a
I
milkshake.
don't like that little gimmick.
It's just
You got, like
Got him.
it's one thing to like try to be funny, but like what is that?
Steak and weights. Steak and weights. Steak and weights.
I'm like,
See,
what
the thing is-
I don't understand nothing
And
you
it's
said.
funny.
Exactly.
It's funny when it's put in the right context. Like like in the parking lot with New Day, that was funny. When Alexa Bliss is presenting the women's tag team championships, that's not the time for you to be coming out there. That shit was stupid. And the idea was because they walked into her with topless. And like I guess he was supposed to be like a horny goblin, like
Was he the one that looked?
that was him, yeah.
Yeah.
That was him, yeah,
Yeah.
that was him.
I
You know
thought
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
some random announcer.
No.
No, that was
Heavy Machinery.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like on Smack, like the way they
It looked
presented.
like it was some random person that was like, "Hey, Alexa, you're next."
Yeah,
No.
That was
It
the
Heavy
first guy.
Machinery. That was the first guy.
The first guy. The first guy handed her coffee, and then when
He just came out like when Paul Heyman was talking. And
Wait, on the set. So last week was the guy that walked in on her the intern, and then this
That-
week was Heavy Machinery walking in.
no. Some random
I didn't
guy.
catch that.
Some random guy walked in on Alexa Bliss. You know what I'm saying, with the topless joint, and then she came out. Did the moment of bliss with Paul Heyman and all that. Presented the tag team championships, and then like in the middle of that became. The idea was he seen that segment and then came out. I was like, oh, pretty lady, and it was just like, what the like.
He
what
did it
else?
all wrong.
Like-
Like that skit was just like
It-
horrible.
Exactly. In that context, is stupid.
Huh?
But when he
Leave my companion alone.
he's over it. At least he's not snoring. But in this segment, when he came out with the New Day, it was funny because it was just like, oh, you guys are out there. You know, Big E just got his boobs all out, oiled up for whatever reason. And it's mad funny because Becky pulled up, and Xavier, as soon as he pulled up, Xavier was just like, huh. And he had the man shirt on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He did
Like-
it so quick too. It was just like
Like he definitely be marking out over Becky, and Becky came out to to the ring, and I love she cut a promo basically on WWE Creative. She was just like, you can't copy and paste me and put it on everybody else. Like everybody basically can't be me. Like that's basically what she
the only
said.
person I see them trying that is Charlotte.
They kind of, it seemed like they kind of did that with Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, and Charlotte. The kind of like not kind of like the.
I don't know. I can't compare that because it was now Rollins and AJ. They literally had the same exact, except for the fact that Rollins wasn't smacked.
It's going a little bit different now, though. But basically, that was basically the same story.
It was
you know
the
what I'm
same
saying?
storyline at one point.
This is what I'm saying. I shit on all of it. Like that's bullshit. Why do exactly? Why do AJ and Seth Rollins, one of the best wrestlers on the planet, have the same storyline? Like they're kind of deviating now, but why do they have that?
Because the rumors going around that they're trying to throw them in a match together at Mania, so
that would be dope.
They're having the same kind of, hey, we want you to step your shit up. We want you to be more aggressive. Kind of like rile up the two pit bulls in a fight, you know.
But I hear what y'all saying. I can see it does seem like the SmackDown. It's the SmackDown. It does seem like the brand split's gonna end, but at the same time, the reason why I say no is because of this Fox deal. Like Fox is owned and USA is owned by like a different company, and they don't really want to cross promote.
And even that, you got Monday Night Raw, and then SmackDown's gonna go on Friday.
Ending the brand split is the easiest way to appease Fox new deal though.
But they don't want to cross promote. Like the people who own Fox and people who own USA are like two different companies. So they don't want Raw stars being promoted on.
If they want to restrict the stars, then that's one thing. But regardless, there's gonna be some time.
The women's tag team does, right?
So they have to eventually end the brand split. The only thing they honestly need to do is the Universal title is Raw's title. WWE title, SmackDown's title, those are the heavyweight divisions on two different shows. The rest of the titles can cross promote.
Yeah, because they have to do
we don't need two tag team belts on two different shows.
Definitely don't.
Make one tag team belt for the men, one tag team belt for the women, and have teams from both. You know how,
well, I feel like
have tournaments out of that. A whole bunch
I feel
of shit.
like for the men, since they have so many wrestlers that you do have the roster. I feel like they have the roster to have a 6-man championship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If they take away,
but for the women,
they take away one of the men's tag team titles, they can do that.
But for the women, I don't.
But if you think about it, if they do a 6-man tag team title,
if they make it one brand, the women have enough right now for a main title, mid card, and tag team.
Honestly, like I'm happy that the women's are getting a tag team, you know, because they are main eventing, like they're building up from.
Think about it, them to be in the titles now. People are like, oh, there's no women's tag. No, I can name like 4 or 5 women together.
That's all they've been doing. That's all they've been doing. It makes sense now. Finally,
they have the proper bill for like, oh, it makes sense why you two teamed up to go for the title. You know, the people honestly, like the Conics, the Bellas.
My opinion is that the men's tag team division has to step up their game.
They do.
Like, honestly, no disrespect to Raw or SmackDown, but with these tag team, the men divisions, like, when they wrestle, like, honestly, I don't even really pay attention to it.
You heard what Sasha said.
It's just like, you know what? It's like, who won? Okay, Raw, got it. Ready for the show.
We get the Bar versus the Usos, or the Usos versus the New Day, or the New Day versus the Usos, or all 3 of them together. That's all we're getting on SmackDown.
Literally.
Raw,
and like the only time you actually see the rest of the.
Sometimes you get the Raw tag teams on Raw. It's like crazy.
Bobby Roode.
No, you guarantee the tag team.
And you got Rhino and Heath Slater.
They recently been back. Ascension. They were in that rivalry with Gable and
the Revival.
Rude that helped create Gable and Rude as a tag team.
To me, it feels like sometimes on Raw we don't even get the tag team division, and on SmackDown we literally get the same match every single week. It's a lose.
It's because it's the 50-50 booking that really needs to stop. Because
and it's crazy because on SmackDown they started different and then they just
the Bar wins tomorrow. Then we got to see the rubber match, and then something happens at that rubber match that pushes it to the next pay-per-view, and then the Usos get involved, and then we rotate. Like
it was crazy. A couple of weeks ago, they brought out Sanity and then the Good Brothers, and we have not seen either of them since.
No.
So
He's doing a lot
but
of live events.
Becky stormed to the ring and she she cut that promo. Then that brought Asuka
I don't
out.
understand that on SmackDown.
What?
That why the Good Brothers are not being out of everybody else. Why the Good Brothers haven't stood on TV? They could have easily had a triple threat tag team match.
Definitely.
Stupid. Who's booking this crap?
Who
is
is booking this crap?
Definitely.
What I really liked about Becky is that she came out in her street clothes and she wrestled in her street clothes. Like like when they come out to do like their segments, they're like in between the commercial breaks, like they'll change. I know something like it just gave them a sense of realism. Like she's just wrestling in her street clothes. She beat the Iconics, and then Asuka got pissed off, came in there and cut a Japanese promo, which she just honestly just needs to do. She needs to just cut a Japanese promo and say, translation, you're not ready for Asuka.
Yeah, questions or
Indeed.
something? I see a couple networks have comments or
No, we
people
just
popping
got
up.
Everybody laughing.
live.
I think people was laughing.
What's up, y'all?
Yo.
Ask us the questions. We got the answers.
Yes, access to questions. We're going through SmackDown right now, and Asuka puts Billie Kay back in the ring, and she slaps on a disarmer and looks Becky right in her eye. Then reverses it into an Asuka lock. And then what I liked about this is before, like Asuka and Becky got into like a standoff, and before they could even leave the ring, AJ Styles music hit. So like, and the way AJ Styles came down there, he looked at Becky like, yo, what's up? Like, you trying to get in this ring? Like, yo, he eyed her up like, yo, like, what up? Like,
He did that to Asuka a few weeks back, and it was like a running joke on Twitter. And
Yeah.
Asuka's like, "What are you looking at?"
you know what I'm saying? Like, he looked at them like, yo, you trying to get in this ring and wrestle? You know what I'm saying? So then AJ goes,
I just love like you just like went hype and he just looked at you like
yo, are you good?
Austin,
Austin,
he just woke up a
Doug
mascot.
Austin just got up and just like, are you good?
Wait, I gotta there it's like over here guys, just our
That's
mascot,
just
so
hilarious.
cute.
So AJ heads to the concession stand.
It's
He
our
starts
mascot.
grabbing hot dogs and his t-shirts and start throwing them out. Then this hooded figure comes up to him, runs up on him. It's Daniel Bryan. And they start scuffling, and AJ Styles ends up slamming Daniel Bryan through a table. The next segment we get is Samoa Joe is walking through the hallways, and
like
he walks past EC3, flexing in the mirror. I mean, WWE, you've only been pumping these guys for like a month and a half, and then you get him up there and he's flexing. I don't get it. I don't.
EC3 on SmackDown.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
what he does.
I don't
That's
get it.
literally-
Oh my bad. I forgot.
He
And
does.
during the Becky match, Lacey Evans was just back there drinking lemonade.
Chilling.
Talking, getting to know the people on the show.
No, she by herself. Watching at the weird angle they do. You know how they watch
She
it on
was talking
wrestling.
to somebody.
No, that was on Raw. That was on Raw. She was randomly in the back with a hat talking to people while Finn Balor was walking by. On SmackDown, she's just looking at, how wrestlers do the weird.
Put on the
You're
competition.
gonna have to put the dog man.
no, I can't.
Yeah, I guess.
They just give like a
Don't
little
get
bit.
don't get him used to
I actually really didn't mind. I didn't really mind
No, I
Lacey Evans.
Really?
That's more kind of understandable. Like her just watching the TV, watching the match. That makes sense, but still just like, ugh. And then Samoa Joe watching. He looked at him like, is this TNA or is this SmackDown Live? That's definitely how Samoa Joe looked at it. So Samoa Joe was supposed to have a match with Mustafa Ali. Before the match even started, Samoa Joe just watched him. He just beat the hell out of Mustafa
Before
Ali.
Mustafa could come up.
Nah, but like soon as he got out, like before the match
I
even
was in
started.
the hospital. I didn't
Boom.
get to see the whole SmackDown.
I'm glad they did that because they didn't want Mustafa Ali to lose. They didn't want Samoa Joe to
I
lose.
literally got to see the Rey Mysterio Andrade match.
Honestly, after that, the SmackDown goes to
And
shit.
then,
SmackDown goes to complete shit after that. So
Yeah, I didn't get to see the rest.
it goes to shit after that. So, but speaking of it, Andrade Cien Almas and Rey Mysterio have a match. Oh my gosh, this is one of the best matches of the year so far. Like this match was
can you
fire.
believe people are complaining on the forums
About what?
the fact that they keep fighting?
They're about to have a 2 out of 3 falls match on SmackDown. My only issue with it is not being on pay-per-view, but Royal Rumble is so stacked, there's no time for it. There's
That's
just no
probably
time
why
for it.
it's not
Plus they're
there.
trying to raise the ratings.
I didn't even realize how
Yeah.
stacked the fucking card is.
Sure,
We
Royal
have like
Rumble's gonna be
6 title
fire.
matches and then the 2 Rumbles. Like,
Royal Rumble's gonna be stacked. I mean, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. I hope, if the matches deliver, which I'm pretty sure they will.
and it's gonna, we should have went.
So they had
But
this.
it's gonna be in a baseball field this time. So it's gonna be like the stars are coming from the dugouts.
It's gonna be fire, yo.
More of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole.
You should
whole
go.
lot
You
of-
More
should,
of that.
you should go out of your way to watch Andrade Cien Almas versus. I mean, he's only Andrade on. I'm gonna keep on calling Andrade Cien Almas, but it dropped.
Honestly,
It
it's
dropped his
just easier.
surname.
Yeah.
It's just
I
easier.
like Andrade
It's
Cien Almas.
even me, I stumble on Andrade Cien Almas sometimes. Like, Andrade Cien Almas.
I think that was the
See?
reason why he wasn't getting a
Say
push.
that 5 times fast.
I think that's why he wasn't getting a push because his apparently Cien Almas was dragging him down, so that's
It's
why he
because
wasn't getting a
needs
push.
his own Ricardo. That's gonna be like Andrade Cien Almas, and then they're gonna be like, oh,
He
okay.
already got Zelina.
I like Zelina.
Yeah, I love Zelina.
I wouldn't mind eating.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't mind eating English joint that trio to make
People,
like
Her-
a
go look at her
her
in the Mortal Kombat Jade
Cosplay. Oh
attire.
man.
A whole bunch of WWE stars were at the Mortal Kombat.
Oh, why didn't you
reveal.
talk about that? Oh,
Oh,
man.
we'll get into
that.
Zelina Vega. Good
Jesus
God.
Christ! And Xavier Woods did an awesome Shao Kahn.
She's
And then
always.
we had
his cosplay's
Kofi
always fire.
Kingston doing not Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
Xavier's cosplay is
Oh my
always,
Yeah.
God,
always
Zelina.
fire.
I mean, she
Zelina.
has brought the Jade out before. I keep using
Yeah.
Zelina, but she looked amazing.
And you know Ronda
And
Rousey's gonna
she's
be,
from New York.
you know,
yeah.
and Ronda
Gotta
Rousey's gonna be
represent
so
New York
good.
wrestlers.
And by the way, Aleister Black, you're lucky.
Dude, you're
Fact.
definitely a lucky guy.
You're
Don't-
lucky.
Don't make me face of black. I'm sorry. I forgot about it. I'm sorry. Don't make me
She's
face of black.
taken.
Facts.
She's taken.
So SmackDown ends with The Miz throwing a birthday party for Shane McMahon. The Bar come out. The Miz and Sheamus get into a match. Shane puts Cesaro through a table that causes a distraction. Miz rolls up Sheamus 1, 2, 3, and I'm saying it like that because it's exactly how I felt about it. Which I want to point out. I am an equal opportunist shitter. And I am equally
I make the
shitting.
positives, damn it.
I am equally shitting on SmackDown because after Andrade Cien Almas and Rey Mysterio, this show just went literally, woo, like it literally took a nosedive.
We
It
just
literally took a
need to get
nosedive.
some independent segments where you also shit on what's wrong with the independents.
Oh
So
yeah,
make it fair, because
yeah, hell
let's see if that even happens.
yeah. You already mentioned. I don't even get. I mean, I try to ignore the production. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the things you kind of have to
can't,
accept. You have to accept when you're going to the
You
indies.
should
You know
be
what I'm saying?
appreciating all the production means a lot.
You have to accept that. Like, I accept when I'm going to see an ICW show that it might not be the best production, but I accept that. But the wrestling is crazy.
Well, again, we
crazy.
wouldn't expect that type of
That's what I'm
production
saying.
from
You know
an
what I'm saying?
ICW.
So that's why it's like
But a Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. No, Ring of Honor.
Impact.
OD needs like.
They need to step
They
their
need
game
to.
up.
They
with
need
the-
to. But I will say this for Ring of Honor when they need to. I will say this.
She's like, oh my god, he's saying something bad about Ring of
Listen,
Honor.
like I'm an equal opportunist shitter. New Japan need to be stepping this shit up. So
You know what happens?
right?
Shit
You know
about
what I'm
Ring of
saying?
Honor.
Just,
But what I will say about Ring of Honor
just-
though, when they need to, they deliver. When Ring of Honor needs to deliver, they deliver.
Great fucking wrestling.
No, I mean even in production, when they need to deliver on their production, they do. I think that when they need to, they do. You know, but even New Japan, like they're in between
They've been
shows.
to the Hammerstein yearly and he still can't get it right.
I've never been to the Hammerstein.
The wrestling is
It
second
looks
to none.
on TV.
but
It looked good. On TV, it looked good. So you guys are there. So
it's true.
yo, we got it. We're equal opportunity. Oh yeah, equal opportunity. Just because I don't shit on Ring of Honor, New Japan, don't mean no, they don't have their faults. Oh, they have their faults. They have their faults.
She's like, really?
delete. Delete.
I think she wants one of these.
Yeah, yeah. Fickled.
Why Miz and Shane and not Miz and Daniel Bryan? Because WWE's booking is retarded. We're living in an ass backwards world where Daniel Bryan is a heel, in
What
which
was the
I
question?
love. He says, why Miz and Shane and not Miz and Daniel Bryan? Because we live in an
That's
ass.
tag team?
Yeah.
Because we live in an ass backwards world where,
Listen.
where Daniel
You know
Bryan is
what?
heel.
They're not gonna do
This is-
heel and
This
heel.
is strictly because
Daniel Bryan
these
should be.
idiots created a pay-per-view with a bullshit tournament that meant absolutely nothing.
It actually is playing into no.
It's playing
it
into
does.
the
It does
storyline.
mean something now. Yeah, it does mean
That's
something.
my point. In order for it to feel like it meant like anything, they had to infuse the storyline and keep the goddamn trophy on the show. And then, not for nothing,
At least they're using.
he is 2/3
Best.
of best in the world.
They are.
So
I'm
it
not mad
makes
about
perfect
that.
sense for the tag team, and
I'm not
not
mad
only
about
that, if I see it like this, if the story is that Miz is using the 2/3 and really got
Hopefully.
Shane gas,
Hopefully.
and then uses that to get the pool to even be in contention against Bryan.
Hopefully.
Oh, he was
Man.
asking not as tag team, but as a storyline.
As a storyline,
Oh,
because
We already seen that.
Miz and Bryan has already been done, but I
They
feel
didn't
like
do it right.
They're
They
probably
wanna-
gonna
they
do
wanna
that at
do it right.
WrestleMania.
they want to do it at Mania.
They should do that, man.
I think honestly, this is gonna be Miz's crowning achievement, where people see him with the WWE title and respect it.
I don't want Daniel Bryan to lose the WWE Championship. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to see Daniel Bryan have
Our mascot
such
is
a.
thirsty.
I want him to have an
The
AJ
owner doesn't
Styles
want to get
monster
the
run.
water bowl, so here.
I want to see the new Daniel Bryan have like an AJ Styles title run. That's how I want the WWE Championship
If-
belt to
if
be
he
held.
knows
to be honest
words.
with you. Like I want people like whoever wins the WWE Championship, like they just get that monster run with it. I mean, I know not everybody's gonna get a year monster run, but I feel like Daniel Bryan gets a year monster run. Like as much as I love this storyline, I am a Miz fan. I do want to see the Miz win a WWE Championship, but right now I don't. I want to see Daniel Bryan just be a heel and just win and just run through everybody. And it's maybe later down the line, the Miz comes up and do it. But right now, I just want Daniel Bryan to just be the.
I mean, by the time WrestleMania rolls around, Daniel Bryan would have had about 5-6 months as champion.
I don't know.
I mean, it's good enough to transition to somebody
More
else.
of that.
And not for nothing, Miz is somebody who, out of damn near everybody on both rosters, deserves it the most.
I feel like the Miz
He
should have.
puts in the most work in and out of that ring.
I feel like we're in a backwards world. I feel like we're in a backwards world where I don't understand why the Miz is not the WWE champion.
Because
And
when
I don't
they first
understand
tried
why.
it,
I don't
was
understand.
panned
Yeah, I
to
don't.
death.
I'm talking about like the new Miz though, like the Miz effect Miz. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why he wasn't the WWE champion. He beat AJ in a real slithery, slimy heel way,
Because
and
once
Daniel
somebody
Bryan
gets
be
big
the
on
white meat
SmackDown,
baby
they're like,
face
oh,
to
we
go
need
after
that
him.
gimmick on Raw.
We're in a backwards world.
And then
We're in a backwards world.
we shut down the progress that was made and
Well,
create
bro,
something
we're in the
else.
backwards world. Daniel Bryan should be the white meat baby face. Miz should be the snarky, crazy heel. And he should be the W. Like, why is Daniel Bryan the crazy heel and Miz becoming the white meat baby face? What backwards Vince Russo booking shit are we in? Like, but I won't say that because Daniel Bryan is having one of the best runs. I love heel Daniel Bryan. I love it. I love it. But it's crazy. Like, it's crazy that Daniel Bryan's a heel. Like, thinking about Daniel Bryan maybe not wrestling again and him coming back and him being a heel now, it's just like, who would have thought that? Who would have thought Daniel Bryan would have been a heel? Like, that's crazy.
I don't know. I think he's a great heel.
Oh,
but
yeah.
and he definitely deserves an AJ Styles run.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him against other people though. Like maybe have like Cien like go for the championship.
Excuse me, sir. It's Andrade.
I want to see Cien turn face. I kind of want to see Cien turn face, honestly.
I just
he's
want
a
him to
good
go on
heel.
I just want him to go on a killer run. That's it.
Hopefully, it don't matter
And
heel or
I
face.
think
Yeah.
jump springboarding off of Mysterio, I think he might get that run.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be dope.
He should be the next person challenging Rusev. I
Yeah,
think,
he should.
honestly.
No, he definitely should be.
So was that SmackDown?
That was, we
Was
finished
that the
SmackDown.
house that AJ Styles built?
I like what they're doing with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. I don't need to see my champions every week, and I don't need to see my champions for a long segment. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they just did a little bit more with Brock, it would actually be okay. Like, just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
More of that?
we just like it could have been fine if we could have just had Brock for maybe 2 weeks out of every Raw. We don't even maybe backstage. We don't need to have Paul Heyman coming out every single week cutting out a
Brock
promo.
Lesnar
Just a
was
little bit.
one of my favorite wrestlers.
They just
from his
it's too
debut
much.
to when he disappointed me and left.
What about when he came
So
back?
even when he came back, I was like, oh, finally the fucking
WWE kind of
beast.
dropped the ball with him at first though. If you really remember that storyline,
Once he beat Undertaker, it was like,
I hated that.
yo,
hated that.
like
That's
not even that
exactly
it wasn't that fact that he beat him for me. It was everything they did with him after. He was just burying everybody, and like his reigns don't mean anything.
I hated the fact that it was him because he didn't need
So
to
it
be.
diminished him.
That's a whole other
because, like,
conversation, though.
you as a wrestler don't even give a fuck. You're just getting a check.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Think about that. Think about that receipt years later. Think about replace Brock Lesnar with Bray Wyatt. We could have had Brock Lesnar would have still been this megastar he is, and we could have had another megastar on Bray Wyatt. Why? All because he beat Bray Wyatt.
And we could have drifted into the dark with Bray and really. That's what I was.
And now-
Bray was definitely one of my favorites.
And now we're like on the recovery table with Bray.
I'm
Like,
still
if it
waiting
doesn't
for
work
it to re-debut.
But
Yeah.
if this comeback doesn't work, when Bray comes back, if this doesn't work with Bray,
Nah, Bray's still good enough that the fans.
AEW.
he has to. That's what I'm saying. I hope. I want.
That's bait.
I want.
Bait. AEW.
I want.
That's the bait right
No,
there.
you know what?
Throw the ball.
I think AEW kind of does need a kind of a character kind of like that. They kind of need a kind of a supernatural kind of.
There's nobody doing
but they're
it.
kind of based
There's
on realism.
nobody
They're
doing
kind of
it
based on
like
realism.
Bray Wyatt.
And that's what I'm saying.
Period.
I want Bray Wyatt to come back and succeed. But if he doesn't, if this one doesn't work,
All he needs is wins to
yikes.
succeed.
Facts. That's all he
Because
needs. That's
on
all
the
he
mic,
needs.
on the mic, he's always been over. His
Yeah.
look, he's always been over.
Facts.
Oh, Dream has no memory of the Husky Harris situation,
Listen. Hopefully, yo. Hopefully.
but
Let's crack on over to this good old 205 Live in UK, man.
Do you mean Leo 5 Live?
Ooh, Leo 5 Live.
Because that's how the show started with Leo Rush coming inside. Because the Aaron Ring promo saying that Lince Dorado is going to feel the rust. The loser house party comes out. Leo tells them to cut the music and say this is what always happens. They come out with their entourage and they can never win by themselves. Lince tells the loser house party to go to the back. And it was a very fast-paced match. It gets real physical. Leo Rush does a bottom rope and a side moonsault to the outside and almost hits his head on the announce table. Lince goes for the golden rewind, which is his finisher, but Leo reverses it and kicks him in the head. Things are not going well for the Puerto Rican luchador.
Just gonna keep doing that.
every time he
Got
does something amazing.
Yeah.
Listen,
24 pieces, 24
rewinding to Raw, the way Bobby Lashley won the title.
When the way he celebrated, you'd have thought he just won $1 trillion.
No, it was a big moment, bro.
No, but I'm glad he did though.
No, but the way, like,
the way he
yeah,
won though,
like he won the lottery or something.
Yeah.
Seth went to try to attack Leo, and Leo was like dodge,
And then the backflip.
backflip, and then like distracted him oh my god. Yeah.
Just watch Raw.
Just
watch
Leo
it.
Rush
If
being Leo
you
Rush.
didn't see it, watch it.
He's the boss for a reason.
So anyways, Liz hits Leo's head on the turnbuckle and goes for a top rope crossbody frog splash. It was alright. And then Lynch goes for a trifecta.
Wait.
Sheesh.
Isn't that exactly what Tanahashi's move is? A
No.
top rope
Crossbody
body
first.
splash?
No. Because Leo was standing. Lynch goes for a trifecta moonsaults to a pin. Leo Rush kicks out after 3 consecutive moonsaults at 2. Lynch goes for the golden rewind, and Leo kicks out at 2.
Showing love to our mascot.
Lynch goes for the top rope.
You gonna see everybody on camera just kind of just
Like-
always just leaning over. What's wrong with you guys? I got a mascot.
Yeah.
We can't. Everybody just wants to pet
It's
the
a
mascot.
dog.
Yeah, it's a mascot. I'm calling him
Everybody
Dog.
loves
I'm
him.
sorry, I'm calling him Dog Austin. Man.
Dog Austin.
I'm calling him Dog
That-
Austin, man.
We're always coming up with something new on our episodes.
I
Like,
mean,
Dog-
every week,
I'm doing
something
Dog
else.
Austin. Yeah.
every week he was coming with something.
New
armband,
new armband,
glasses.
glasses, the leather jacket.
He transitioned that over.
No, he's
weeks.
he's complete now. Though he's complete now. No. Where if all those, I don't want to sound negative. I loved when Lashley won that title. Like, if you look at my IG, I posted him like 6 times straight. Like, I don't want to sound. You know what I'm saying? I love when Lashley won. More of that. But I still think Raw was just okay. I'm gonna stand by that.
So after kicking out of 3 consecutive moonsaults, Lynch hits his golden rewind Leo, but he kicks out at 2. Lynch goes for a top rope shooting star. Leo gets to the rope and hits him with a
you
guillotine
fat boy,
leg
huh?
drop.
You fat
Dorado
boy.
charges
The
at Rush,
mascot.
but crashes into the turnbuckle. Leo Rush hits the final hour for the win. Leo Rush attacks Lynch as he retreats to the pack, and the loser house party comes and makes the save as Leo escapes.
Just slipping in loser house party, by the way. Just slipping that
Yeah.
in. I love the way you just slipping that in.
And that was the first.
I think they
match.
got people are down on them just because of those Lucha House rules.
You know what
Yeah,
sucks?
it's
Because Grand Metalik is like one of really the best wrestlers in the world people probably don't know about. And he was a super monster, mega heel back in Mexico, but
I don't know
now he's
what
part of Lusa. He's part of Lusa. He was one of the people that people are saying that he might jump to AEW because he's dope, but he just doesn't. He gets time to shine, but he has character. He has character, but you would never know.
Yeah, because he's never on the mic or anything like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Just go to
And what was the
AEW.
last
Running around with
match you watched?
running around with a freaking pinata. One of the best wrestlers on the planet. One of the best heels. Running around with a freaking pinata. And I didn't even know this. And so I seen a video about it and I wanted to look him up. I'm like, oh my gosh. He was getting, people were trying to attack him in Mexico. That's how much heat he has. People were literally trying to jump the barricades to get to him. I don't know what he was saying, but that's heat, baby. That's heat.
saying anything close to the Dudley Boys back then.
Facts, like, that's heat. Like,
So, anyways, Noam Dar has a backstage interview. Nice interrupts saying that his win was luck.
no, dogs. No. Oh, why does he do this?
Dar keeps on saying he lost after Nice's sentences. Nice chances to a match next week. Dar declined because he lost.
You gotta,
Oh, because last week didn't he
No,
say,
no, no,
yes,
no,
yeah.
no,
All
no.
right, so watch that match.
Oh, well, you lost, Nice. Alright, there's a backstage segment with Drake. He wants to check out Lynch. TJP comes out and says Drake never checked out him. Drake said he never have to. TJP wants to challenge Murphy, but Drake said the spot is already taken.
oh my
TJP
God, why?
leaves.
I don't know, but there's something
Drake
about
talks.
TJP that I just don't like.
He does
And
have a face
I
that you
just
want to punch, don't you? Yeah.
he's a great wrestler. I just be like, oh fuck, TJP. I don't know why. It's just a,
They present him as very annoying.
I don't know what it is. I cannot pinpoint why I just get a disgust for TJP.
Yeah, he's a dope wrestler. Too.
He is a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler, but it's like I see his face and it's like
He does. His face is like, I just want to punch you. He doesn't have a face like, I just want to punch you in the
He
face.
needs to go back to a character like Manic. Or,
You gotta move in a
like
little bit.
put a mask back on or something. So, anyways, after that, there's a promo with each challenger for the cruiserweight title. They cut a promo saying that they're gonna win. Next week there's gonna be a triple threat between Cesaro, Kalisto, and Itami. Buddy Murphy comes out for his open challenge. Says that he is the greatest cruiserweight champion of all time.
Ooh.
Park will have to disagree with that.
Gilbert will have to disagree with that.
And he's a 205 Live champion, man. He's not the Cruiserweight Championship, man.
I'm
Shouts
actually,
to that conversation.
That's their decision, okay?
I'm
He's
actually writing
a
that
205
down,
Live one.
But
we need a pop. we need a pop sound bar.
the king
The
of
pop-
the cruiserweights.
The bastard.
The
real bastard. The bastard. That's it. That's the sound bite we need. The real bastard. He's a proper bastard, isn't he? Yo, what's going on?
Alright, so Buddy Murphy comes out and then says that he's the greatest cruiserweight of all time. And since there's an open challenge, he invites anybody who could meet the 205 weight and come out to face him, not for the title, but to prove him wrong. So the person who comes out is Hector Garza's nephew, Humberto Carrillo.
Humberto Carrillo. I was gonna ask you, what's his Humberto Carrillo?
Carrillo.
Carrillo. Humberto Carrillo.
And Buddy is impressed and shakes his hand,
Berto Del Rio
which is crazy because
couldn't come up with
Carrillo.
another.
That sounds so
So familiar.
right?
Alberto.
Oh my god, I remember this episode. Oh my god, I know exactly what he's about to do.
Daddy. Is he gonna have the announcer too?
No.
Come out.
He should though, probably.
Hey, Richie Moon is available. He already got the mic. Just saying.
Alberto.
He'll sing too.
He'll see. Yeah.
Ever since Moon's baby left
Not that
him.
song though.
No.
We don't have time for that.
Anyways, so the match starts off with chase submissions. They go for an exchange of strikes, but they both dodge each other. Buddy claps as shakes Carrillo's hand, but goes for a snap near, but Carrillo lands on his feet. Carrillo does a bunch of arm drags, including one springboard arm drag, causing Buddy to slide out the ring. Carrillo goes for a baseball slide, but Buddy ducks. So Carrillo runs to Murphy. Murphy launches him onto the apron, and then Carrillo does a black flip and runs to Murphy again, but Murphy pushes him away and slides his head on the ramp. This was a very hard spot. So Murphy tosses him into the ring for the 2 count. Carrillo goes for a suplex, and Buddy presses him off and does a black flip, landing on his feet, and goes for another superplex again. But Buddy reverses it and then hits him with the power bomb. And you can hear that. You can hear from the crowd that this is a boring chance, but I think it was a really great match, showing off Buddy Murphy's skills as well as having a new star in Carrillo going to 205 Live. Buddy tweaks his knee and when Murphy versus a suplex and has the ref fools because he's obviously faking it. Carrillo turns his back and Buddy attacks. They exchange for strikes as Buddy hits his head, sending him to the outside. Carrillo dives outside, sending Buddy past the announce tables. Carrillo goes for the top rope and move, but Buddy Murphy hits him with a V trigger and hits him with the Murphy Law for the win. And it was a great match.
Nice. Buddy Murphy knows
Buddy
V
Murphy's and his strikes is especially that V trigger when he basically copied what Ray Phoenix and Kenny Omega did.
Oh, with the jumping off the. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that was the end of 205 Live. So the next segment is NXT.
NXT UK, mate.
NXT.
So NXT started off with the Street Profits bringing the swag
Do I need to
like
write
nobody
that down?
can and heads to the
Okay.
ring. And does Montez Ford actually have anything in that cup?
No, he usually doesn't have anything in that cup, but it's just dope. You know what I'm saying?
It's just
Montez Ford. Mark this now. You heard this first. Montez Ford is the future WWE champion. Future.
So Deuce
Somewhere in the future.
So anyway, Deuce and Domino's come out, and Montez says that he remembers them, and I think it was it Deuce that pushes him, and Montez pushes him back on the floor, telling him don't test him or anything like that. Montez throws him to the rope and does a double leapfrog into a drop kick, which is great athleticism by Montez, the future WWE champion, as Richie once said.
Yep.
He makes the tag to Dawkins, and they do a double team for the Street Hype It from the Street Profits. They hype each other as Deuce tags Domino in, and Dawkins accidentally push Montez so hard that he falls upon the apron.
Did you see
He's
his
like,
face
"Hey, yo,
though?
what's going on?"
Did you see his face though?
Yeah.
His face is hilarious.
And
He was just like,
and then Montez is like, "Yo, my bad."
Yeah.
I was hype.
he looked like Dave.
So-
He looked like Dave Chappelle, like holding all the money. Like you know that skit with Dave Chappelle, like he's in the courtroom, he got the crown on. He's just like.
Like, so Domino turns Dawkins around in section, and Dawkins just knocks him out with a clean punch.
Word.
Yeah.
And then Deuce tries to get involved, but Dawkins sees him and knocks him out. And then you have Montez dying in the back and gets tagged in and hits the high profit frog splash for the win.
That's a frog splash and a half.
He
right there.
gets hype.
Well, we watch
That's
wrestling.
definitely gets hype.
While talking about wrestling, Farouk is about to get his ass whooped. The Rock just gifted him a portrait of himself. He's gonna declare himself as the new leader of the Nation Domination.
Facts.
Yep.
But
Yeah, Steve Blackman.
That's when The Rock had hair.
Steve Blackman.
it's a choice. I heard.
That
I
was
heard
when
it's
Steve
a
Blackman
choice.
was relevant.
I think his hairline started receding, so he just cut it all off.
He always had like that little widow's peak going on.
Yeah.
But continue with your.
So they
Yes.
celebrate, and some tag team that I forgot their name.
Damn.
Oh, the Forgotten
So-
Sons. Sarcasm. Damn.
I literally forgot.
I felt bad for them. I felt
I
bad for them.
literally forgot the
Because I
Forgotten
literally,
Sons
just,
last
when you
week.
first said it, I was just like,
We spoke about them last
because
week.
because the crowd was literally saying, "We forgot you, stay forgotten." Oh.
Stay forgotten.
We need that.
Stay forgotten.
We need
I
that.
You're wrong,
forgot
you're
what
wrong.
wrestling are actually in that.
So did I. But I don't know any
See
of the
them.
names.
There it goes.
I want to see the Street Profits get pushed more. I want to see them run through Forgotten Son. I want to see the Street Profits against Undisputed Era.
Tag team.
I don't necessarily think the Street Profits are going to win, but I want to see them get the rub and go against Undisputed Era.
1, 2, 3, and it
Let's go
happens.
Steve Blackman.
This is. I mean, you try to not accept the portrait of The Rock.
You can't ruin a portrait.
And we all stop. to
Yeah,
watch
like-
this moment in history.
And we're live.
So right now, like Raw,
So we
when
watch wrestling while we talk about ourselves.
when
Yep.
this
Yeah,
is
okay,
when
yeah.
this is when the Rock. I mean, he was already the Rock, but this is when the Rock really started to become the Rock. He's in a Nation of Domination. He just presented Farouk with a picture of him. The end of the match, Farouk just got beat by
the
Steve
nation's
Blackman.
about to whoop his ass. Like, you're no longer the leader. You know what? The Rock was a great leader because he's the one that recruited Mark Henry. How can you rip the
Why would
picture
you do
of the
that?
great one?
Oh
The
man,
people's champ.
the Godfather and D'Lo Brown. I
Alright.
look back.
Let's
Yeah, let's
step
get back
out of our
to.
time machines.
All right.
Let's get right back to
The
the
next
present.
segment comes out with
we're
backstage
live.
interview with Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, and it's about Cassius Ohno.
Oh no.
Says that he was cleared to be at ringside to see Keith Lee show Cassius why that Keith is limitless, and that he hopes that Keith has some save some for him.
I don't
Bro.
like. NXT needs to let Keith Lee cut promos. Keith Lee is one of the best promos in the business. Period.
They need to
He's
just unleash him.
he's
Like,
limitless.
They need to just unleash him.
They do need to unleash him.
Last
They need to
glory.
They like honestly, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee could have went straight up to the main roster. I'm glad they're in NXT, but they could have went straight up to the main roster. I'm glad they're friends, but I can't wait till they start rivalry. I cannot wait till NXT sees Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle. You are in for a treat.
Who will
I
be
promise
heel?
you. Keith Lee. Yeah, he always plays the heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be mad at the bro?
Bro, you
Yeah.
can't. and Keith Lee.
I
is-
mean, he
King
has
of bros,
like
bro.
but
you
Keith
know,
Lee is he's
an
so
aggression.
smooth. Yeah, he does have an aggression.
like Matt Riddle does have an aggression side. We seen it like in his ring
Yeah.
actions and everything. If you haven't, go check it out.
Go look at Matt Riddle
But
versus
yeah,
Cody.
I see more of Keith Lee being the heel
And he-
in
and
that
he-
storyline.
And Keith Lee, he can just he promos. He's
Plus,
fire.
you know,
He's
he got
fire
that great
promos.
smile, so he could just be like the bad guy, just be like, you know.
Alright,
As
let's-
long
let's
as
move-
you
let's
bask.
move on.
So the next segment comes with Bianca Belair coming out and to cut a promo in the ring.
One, two, three, two.
Says he's walking out of Phoenix, the women's champion. Shayna, Jasmine, and Jessica come out, says that she's not the smartest, and she's gonna tear her arms off at Takeover Phoenix. Says Bianca retorts back that the only thing that these arms is going to do is hold the title up, and then that led to Shayna saying that Bella is scared and that she will show her that instead of being undefeated, she will be overrated. Which caused a battling chance of undefeated and overrated from the crowd.
Mhm.
So that Bianca
There's a
smacks
large
the shit-
section of fans that think that Bianca Belair is overrated, though. I do see that a lot on the forums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave her a big.
I mean,
push.
they're finally giving her the push that she definitely worked hard
Yeah,
for the longest, and it's like
she definitely worked on her character.
She's still
Yeah.
she's because she's a little stiff. That's why Bianca Belair works a little stiff.
Yeah.
Like it.
So Bianca
As long as you
smacks.
don't injure nobody.
So Bianca smacks the shit out of Shayna and leaves to end the segment.
Yeah,
That was
a nice
a
little
hard-
segment.
that was
yeah.
a hard slap too.
Yeah, Bianca she cut a nice promo too. She cut a good promo. So honestly, Bianca Belair is a future women's champion.
Hands down.
Yeah,
Definitely.
if they book her right. Good God.
No, who's
Hopefully, we'll
booking
see.
this girl?
Who is booking?
I mean, she's safe in
this
NXT though. She's safe in NXT, but I mean, but hopefully, hopefully.
We'll
crap?
see.
We'll see. 2019.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, check out my countdown. Check out my countdown. I got some interesting things for my number one pick. That's why I said interesting.
So,
Interesting.
so the next match is Adrian Joe versus Dominic Jozovic, and Adrian. Yeah, feast your eyes.
These always for feasting.
So Adrian is a
Bro.
Brazilian that does capoeira, and I'd like to see him in a more non-squash match
He got, gosh.
because his ground game is amazing.
You can tell he looks like that dude from Tekken. Remember Eddie?
Yeah.
That was
like him, but
I
like
used to love
the way
taking Eddie
he
and
the way
Tekken.
he moves in the ring is very like
capoeira.
yeah.
So anyway, they Joe shows his ground game, but Jozovic just dominates when he gets control of the match. Does his suplex toss, hits him with a hard clothesline.
Doesn't he like yell out like he like yells like talk? What is he like? He yells out something when he does that like throw him over there or something like that.
Go over there or something like that.
And he just like
And he just on the ring. So he kicks Joe and but Joe hooks his leg into a leg lock, and Jozovic doesn't have to travel much to make the rope, and Joe gives a big boot, but he gives Joe a big boot and a feast your eyes for the win. It was a good match. I definitely would like to see more of Adrian, and like I said, and for the next segment they had was a promo for the War Raiders. They burned the CFO chair, and it was basically just hyping up the
that was a
CFO
nice
match.
Yeah, that was a nice that was dope. Like they were like in the woods and like there was very much of like like the characters like the Vikings feel like it was a dope setup, dope promo.
Very dope, very
Yeah.
dope. So anyways, Johnny Failure comes out to face Humberto Carrillo.
Ooh, call him Johnny Failure,
Johnny
man.
Failure. That's his heel name.
Who
Johnny
apparently
Failure.
had a cracking match at Evolve this weekend. He won against
Yeah.
Austin Theory. I said that already, but I heard it was like a really good match.
To face Humberto Carrillo, and this is the second match that Humberto Carrillo is
That
featured
really
on
does
this
so.
week.
Like, every time you say it, I think Del Rio.
Yeah, the Vince will drop it if he ever goes to the main roster. Don't worry about it.
It sounds too familiar.
Don't worry.
I literally just said that. I was like, is he gonna come out with his own ring announcement?
But like,
too?
like it's hitting me like that. Every time he says it, I think Alberto Del Rio.
Humberto Carrillo.
I would just laugh if he comes back.
I wish.
that ring
I mean,
announcement.
that man is running out of options with his attitude.
He's a businessman though.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I mean Ricardo, not Alberto.
Oh, Ricardo.
Oh.
What else is he doing right now?
So anyway, they start off to a very fast pace with lots of chain submission. Johnny whips Carrillo into the turnbuckle of Mercerson, but Carrillo jumps over him and rolls and does a backflip to the other side of the ring. Johnny then goes for a clothesline, but Carrillo ducks and climbs the turnbuckle for a sunset flip. Johnny rolls out to kick him, but Carrillo dodges it and hits him with a roundhouse kick. Humberto does his springboard arm drag, putting Johnny outside of the ring, and Carrillo slides out of the ring. Johnny launches him onto the apron. Carrillo gives him a back kick and goes for a dive, but Johnny does his slingshot spear to take him down. And that was a very hard-hitting spear.
It was
I like to see more of that one.
definitely more of that.
So Carrillo does a corkscrew dive to the outside,
Cracking
following
match.
up with a middle rope drop kick and a reverse rolling thunder, which was very good. I like when he did that. Carrillo goes for moonsault, but Gargano lifted his feet, hits him with a super kick, long darts him into the turnbuckle.
That was a long dart too. Like he got all of that. He got all of
He
that.
got all of that to the second turnbuckle, and then finished the match with his slingshot DDT for a win.
Which is I never really seen Johnny finish a match with the slingshot. I don't think they wanted to tap him out.
No.
Yeah, but it was a good match though.
I love what he does.
It was a good match. It was a really good match.
Alright, the next segment is a promo with Ciampa. Says the champion only fights the big stage because that's what a champion does, and that he's gonna win.
Did you get to Aleister Black promo? Is Aleister Black promo next, or did we go after that? Yeah, it was Aleister Black. I had a joke for it. That's why.
I don't remember. All I remember is the Dream having his own promo.
Oh, Aleister Black was like in a smoke.
I mean,
I was like him and
that's the only thing you should remember is the Dream promo.
oh,
Alistair Black.
The Dream has memories of that.
oh man, I was gonna say Aleister Black had a promo with RVD on NXT this week, but you didn't see RVD. He was in the smoky room. That's why.
On NXT TV. For
Yeah,
real?
well, it was in a real smoky room. That's all.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was just a black room. It was like mad smoky. I was like, oh, he was with RVD.
Next.
Next. So Velveteen Dream will be on NXT next week, and also there will be a confrontation between Ricochet and Johnny Failure.
Mm.
Johnny Russell.
So for the main event,
Can you hear it?
so
Sorry.
let's go to the main event match, which is Keith Lee versus Cassius Ohno. Keith chases Ohno in the beginning of the match, but hits him with a shoulder block and goes for the gut wrench, but Ohno slides down his back. Ohno hits the rope. Keith does a leapfrog over Ohno, which was pretty impressive, and hits him with a crossbody splash for a 2 count. Keith tosses Ohno to the ropes, but Ohno gets out of the ring and tries to get some time to recover. Keith tries to go for the dive, but Ohno wasn't having it and dodged it. Ohno breaks the ref count. Keith goes to the outside as Ohno tries to get back in to try to get the advantage over him. But Keith gives him some pretty strong haters and gave him a huge back body drop. It was pretty.
This is a hard hitting match.
Definitely was. Keith goes for the turnbuckle splash, but Ohno rolls on the floor, tripping Lee into the second turnbuckle, and they're giving him a big boot. I really had to hurt his head right there.
I just saw puppies.
Puppies. Ohno keeps giving Lee boots to the face and a senton splash for a 2. Ohno now has control of the match and giving various strikes and arm wrench into the ropes for a 2 count. Ohno gets Lee into a double hammerlock and Lee powers out, but Ohno hits him with a kick to the face. Goes for another standing senton, but Lee's has his knees up. Both are down. Lee gets up and gives Ohno strikes and gets into a corner splash and tosses him into the middle of the ring, which is pretty impressive, given how much Ohno weighs. Goes for another corner slash on the opposite side.
Oh
Yeah. Right?
Like,
So, Ohno lifts it into the apron. Lee smashes Ohno's head into the turnbuckle and does a slingshot splash for a 2 count. Ohno pleads for mercy, but Lee wasn't falling for it and gives him strikes. Lee gives him a brutal shoulder block. And Lee lifts him
the pounce.
up.
Like that pounce. Yeah.
With that pouncing shoulder block. Lee lifts him up, but Ohno has the ropes and gets off and pushes Lee to the refs. Ohno does a low blow and does his distance clothesline for the win.
Yeah, my man Keith Lee took the I got mad different people that just kind of randomly just tune in on Facebook.
Oh, hey guys.
Random fact.
Wow.
Did you know that Road Dogg's braids were actually just extensions?
They weren't real?
2 weeks before that, his hair was short.
Wow.
I was
interesting.
bugging out. I'm like, did he really get extensions? Like, his hair was just short.
That's crazy. Yeah, things you notice by just watching Raw week to week. I definitely did not remember or notice that.
Yep. Out of nowhere, his hair just
grew?
was long as hell.
It just grew out of
braided.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Got the-
So what do you think about this match between Keith Lee and
Keith Lee. Oh no, that was a good match. I wish I wish Keith Lee could get the victory, but for the story, I understand why he did. And he won with the low blow, so it's still Keith Lee still looks strong because he would have won without the low blow. So
yeah.
I'm down with it. I think they just need to next time we see Keith Lee wrestle, definitely needs a W. And Cassius Ohno and Matt Riddle are probably gonna kick off take over Phoenix. So
See,
yeah.
I'm appreciating.
Nah, I think that's gonna hit the card.
Yeah, probably the beginning of the card. Yeah, they don't have pre-shows on NXT, which is good. What? So they have Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler.
Shayna.
We have Ricochet versus Johnny Wrestling. We have Cassius Ohno versus Matt Riddle. We have Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano.
That's that. And we have the War Raiders versus Undisputed Era. We got 5, man. Probably gonna be it. Yeah, that's it.
That's the whole takeover.
No Velveteen.
No Velveteen.
No Velveteen.
No Velveteen.
He might. Yeah. Oh, no Velveteen. Yeah, no Velveteen.
The Dream has no memory of that.
Yeah, no Velveteen. That's kind of the cool and the kind of the bad thing about takeovers. It's kind of cool because it's just
How
like
do you leave Velveteen Dream off of a takeover?
he doesn't have anybody to
He's
really.
been the highlights of the.
Every takeover.
Maybe that might be a storyline all in itself. We still got a couple of weeks. Actually, no, we don't. No, we don't.
Next weekend.
Next week,
Next week, 27 Royal Rumble.
that might be a storyline all in itself.
No.
He's coming out
What?
for the,
Next week.
He's coming out next week. So
Yeah,
it's probably a
there will
storyline.
be NXT superstars that entering the Royal
Oh
Rumble.
yeah. Oh, and you can catch that in my countdown also because
His
just like
debut at the Royal Rumblist.
there's
The
gonna be
butt.
at the
The
Access. There's gonna be a
You about to join the list.
there's gonna be
because
a
you keep
tournament. It's the
saying
His debut. I
Yeah.
keep saying it right.
butt. Well, what's gonna be dope?
It's
We're
the
gonna,
butt.
we're gonna
It is the
have,
butt. It is Royal Rumble with the butt.
It's gonna be NXT
It's
UK versus
the
205 Live.
butt. I don't know what that is.
Dream at Rumble. Oh, my boy said Dream at Rumble. Yeah, we probably will see Dream at Rumble. Yeah, we probably will see Dream.
Velveteen.
Just
Yeah.
to experience the
We
Dream
might see Dream
live.
get called
It
up,
was-
yo.
It's beautiful.
We might see Dream get called up, even though I think it's still.
I
looks
want
early
him
for
to, man.
He's
Fuck.
still, he,
I want him to get an
I
NXT
feel
title
like-
reign, but
he needs more time
I
in
think
NXT.
Tommaso Ciampa got a grip on that shit. And
I feel
if
I don't know.
anybody he's
It's gonna be
dropping
Johnny Wrestling. Johnny Wrestling has to do his redemption arc. He has to
Either-
come back and be a face.
either that
He's another year.
or Aleister Black is gonna take it.
I think Aleister Black's coming up.
Yeah.
I think Tommaso
He
Ciampa,
easily
Johnny
make Raw
Wrestling,
one of the
in Undisputed
or
Era,
SmackDown, for that matter.
those
One of
six
the
are going to
best.
be down there in NXT.
I'm putting
fighting.
it-
His
I'm putting it
character
this
and
way.
his in-ring? Ooh.
Prediction match: Aleister Black versus Finn Balor.
Yeah, the Demon.
Oh my god, the Demon versus just
They might put
Fade to
dark-
black.
the Dark Tarot.
They
dude.
might put Aleister Black by having him be the first person to beat the Demon. Who knows?
That'd be great.
That would be a
And
great
the reason he
storyline.
won is because he used the tarot symbols on his vest and put a curse on the demon.
That could be a storyline, but WWE don't really go.
Hey WWE,
They
are
don't
you
really-
listening?
They don't really go too far.
Yeah,
with
if
the
you guys
supernatural
didn't
stuff.
know,
They don't really.
like,
go
every
too far.
every single rivalry that Aleister Black has, the tarots change on his vest. So the tarots actually give meaning to what they're going through in the actual rivalry and pretty much where it culminates at the takeovers.
That would be dope. They should get in. They should get into their storylines like that.
The vest that he wore, alluding to his rivalry with Johnny Gargano, was official.
Is that the one we come with the spikes?
Yeah.
That shit was fire. That's like they should have Finn come out and say the reason why he doesn't use the demon is because every time he uses the demon takes more of him and he starts to lose control of Finn Balor. Like they should. People don't know this.
That's why
We
he
know
started.
this.
That's why he
Marks.
started smiling.
Yeah, like we're marks. We know this. They should absolutely justify that. Like I smile so much because if I don't, like the demon will start to take over, and once the demon takes over, it's over. Like you gotta justify these things, WWE. Justify these things, man. Because it makes no sense why Finn Balor's really had a smile on his face the entire time. He's been booked to shit until January, until December. He's been booked to shit.
I mean,
To
but his
shit.
merch,
His merch check.
his merch check, that's that
another thing I don't understand.
all-inclusive Battle Clubs for Everybody campaign he was doing.
That's what I don't understand.
with the LGBTQ.
That's what I don't understand.
Oh my God,
Why
that-
Finn
that
Balor?
merch,
No
them
disrespect. No
them
disrespect.
checks. No, I'm not disrespecting that.
No,
I'm
don't
saying them
disrespect.
checks coming in. He has 3 different shirts popping at the same time.
Which is why I don't understand why
I
it
smile
took
every
to
day
December.
I show up too. Like,
Why did it take to December to push him?
Finn, why you not winning my merch sales? Whew, my merch.
Finn should have been in this position. That's why my thing. Like, yeah, his merch. He's always been one of the top merchants. Like, why is Finn just getting this push? He should have been there. Not even become a mark, but that's how y'all base y'all shit off of. So,
I'm back.
yeah.
My neck.
Got
But-
my man Jackson going on.
You know, we can keep talking and this is. I think you know.
Do you
think
have
this
any Ring of Honor notes?
Wait,
yes,
you forgot
I-
NXT UK.
Oh my God! Let's run through this. Let's run through that.
Went through it.
Yeah.
All right, Ligero versus Saxon Huxley. The crowd chants for Ligero. Ligero uses his speed to dodge Huxley's strikes. Huxley catches him with the scoop stand, gives him strikes and puts him on the rope. Charges it to Ligero, but he brings up the boot. Huxley punches Ligero, but Ligero does a pouncing Luthez press. Huxley keeps Ligero grounded with a submission, but Ligero powers out and Huxley uppercuts him. Ligero goes for a beautiful missile drop kick, but Ligero does does through the rope stunner and then goes for a springboard tornado DDT for a win. Great match. Next match is Isla Dawn versus Jenny. You know what happens when you just cross right in front of the cameras like that?
And just put butt all over the screen.
And that's not the butt that we was looking for.
No.
So anyways, the next match is Isla Dawn versus Jenny. Dawn was trained by Killian Dane and Nikki Cross. Jenny starts the match off smashing Isla's face in her knee, then pushes her to the ground against the ground pound in, gives her a real stiff elbow. Isla does a catch wrench as her first bit of offense. Basically, they have a great match. Jenny hits a good Hurricane Rana stats on Isla. That match ending comes with Jenny push Isla on the second turnbuckle and does a suspended X Factor for a win. Travis Banks cuts a promo on Jordan Devlin. Mark Andrew versus Gordon Webster and Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel. They have a great match, lots of spots, too many to count and such. Basically,
a match that has too many spots to count.
Yeah, too many. Like this was literally.
You guys gotta go back and watch
this match. Would
TK.
literally take me like 15 minutes just to talk about. It's literally the longest notes I took in this match. The finish comes from Fabian Hanks flash from the second rope, and Marcel gives him a running drop kick, and then lifts his flash up again for a spinning power bomb with Marcel doing a top rope European uppercut for the win.
Okay.
And I love that. Great. I love the tag team of Fabian H.
We gotta kind of run through that because we still have Ring of Honor coverage, right?
Yes.
And we've already gone on 115 minutes, which is almost the 2-hour mark. So let's get through this.
Just wait. You about to see some butt.
Another debut.
The butt. All right. So Ring of Honor. Not much to cover. Right now we are on the road to the G1 Supercar, which will be at Madison Square Garden.
Man, that build-up is happening already?
During WrestleMania weekend. So
Let me tell you something. This leading up to WrestleMania is gonna come by like this.
Yeah.
This is gonna happen once Royal Rumble hits.
which we have
And I'm gonna be at WrestleMania.
which we have 3 shows coming up this week. So we got Dallas on the 24th. They're gonna be at Houston on the 25th and San Antonio on the 26th. So that's all happening over there in Texas. Then they announced Ring of Honor's anniversary is on in obviously Las Vegas March 15th. So that's the next pay-per-view to keep an eye out. So it starts off with this episode, which is pretty much the first match coming out is Tracy Williams, aka Hot Sauce, and he's from Brooklyn, so shout out to him.
Brooklyn.
You know,
the house.
and making his Ring of Honor
Debut.
debut, Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. son. Zack Sabre Jr. time.
Which, honestly, if you haven't watched it, watch that match. It was.
You should always go. You should always go
Always.
out of your way to watch a Zack Sabre Jr. match. Like, in increments, though. Don't just watch Zack Sabre Jr. matches back to back because.
Back to back.
No, a
You
lot
took
of
it to,
people
like-
saying like this was gonna be an easy match, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't. No, like Tracy Williams took the fight right to Sabre's match, the master technician hold for hold and counter for counter. Like it was just, you know, it was more of not just wrestling, but it was just like, you know, best who has the best submissions. You know, throughout the whole match.
Zack Sabre could do that.
Which-
Bring out the submission artist and somebody.
Yeah, Sabre, like, the way he won with his hurrah submission move and ended up, you know, Williams couldn't escape it, had no choice but had to tap out. And of course, the crowd appreciate both of them for that match. You definitely have to watch it. The thing that caught my eye was, I don't know if a lot of people saw it, but Zack said since Final Battle, he wants to win every match in Ring of Honor with submissions only. No pinfall.
Who said it?
Zach.
Zach?
He's gonna do it.
Zach wants to since final
He's
battle.
bringing back technical wrestling.
Yeah, he
Of
wants to
course.
bring back, and he only wants to win by submission.
He's basically
So I respect that.
More
I
than
respect
he's
that a
basically
lot.
doing what he did in the New Japan World Cup last year. He beat everybody by submission. Okada, Tanahashi, everybody by submission. So.
But then after leaving the ring, he went up straight to the camera. If anybody caught that, and pretty much challenged Jonathan Gresham and was like, anything you can do, I could do better, sweetheart. So definitely a match to look for between
I can
both
only
of them.
imagine just Zack Sabre Jr. saying that. Just he's such a smart. I can do anything you can do better, sweetheart. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yo, he
Yeah?
just has that cocky, like, I'm an asshole for no reason.
Yeah.
And Zack Sabre looks like a guy you could probably just smack him once and whoop his ass. But no.
Try to smack him.
No, he'll submit the hell out of you before you even get the land.
So, that's definitely I'm waiting for that match. I don't know when this is gonna happen, but definitely, Zack Sabre Jr. versus
No,
Jonathan
probably at the
Gresham.
G1.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Then it cuts to Beer City Bruiser confronting Silas Young, telling them that they had 18
Silas
years
Young.
of 18 years of friendship. Young said it was wrestling, just let it go. They were never friends. Whatever. They're gonna have a match next week. Not really excited about that. So. Then it was saying that the Briscoes, they are 10-time tag team champions. And they said that they have the main event match against SCU.
SCU!
And the Briscoe went on to say, they cut a promo saying that they will bury SCU.
SCU! SCU! SCU!
So the next match
don't
we
get too
have
many SCUs over here anymore,
is
that's fine.
Women of Honor tag team, which is the Twisted Sisters versus Madison Rain and the Doctor, Britt Baker.
Baby!
I would say it was a very good
When were
match.
these taped? When were these taped?
These are during the weekend during Philadelphia. This was after Final Battle.
After Final Battle?
Yeah,
Right after Final Battle?
yeah.
Okay.
During right after Final Battle.
Trying
these
to see
taped.
if this guy's maintaining the storyline.
No, I'm trying to see if Britt Baker was working both Ring of Honor and AEW, but did she tape all these and then sign AEW?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
pretty much all of these
that's a lot
were
of
taped
comments.
right
They can do
after
that.
Final Battle. These were like the last message of the Elite and everybody.
Oh, the last
else.
tape? Okay, I was trying to find these. I thought they were released these already. Okay, now they're just releasing. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
So pretty much, Women of Honor had a match and it was okay. I wasn't really into it. I didn't really take much. I just know that Britt Baker and Madison Wade won, so good for them. Then it went on to the World Tag Team Title rematch. SCU.
SCU!
Frankie Kazarius and Scorpio Sky versus Jay and Mark Briscoes. Obviously, we already know SCU signed with AEW, so obviously they did not win.
Elite. Elite.
They did not. Then it ends with welcoming the Villain Enterprise.
Whoop, whoop.
So pretty much,
Whoop, whoop.
Marty Scurll comes out to the ring, talks about wanting to beat the ROH World Champion Jay Lethal for the title, and then obviously Matt Taven and the Kingdom.
David. Oh, this is when all this stuff aired. Oh,
Yeah.
This is a while
Crazy
ago.
promo.
Yeah.
Sheesh, this is a while ago.
Taven comes out and saying that he's the real world champion, as we all know, and then
As long as
Taven.
that strap's purple, he is the real world. That shit
It is.
And then
It is a
Taven,
final
Taven goes on to pointing out that Marty Scurll no longer has any friends in Ring of Honor, so they enter the ring and surround Marty. Marty says that his friends may have left him, but that doesn't mean he can't make new ones. Suddenly the lights went out and they come back on, and Brody King is standing in the ring alongside with Marty Scurll. Then the light went out again, and an image of bolt of electricity flashes on the video screen. This time when the lights came on, the much talk about PCO was in the ring with Marty Scurll and Brody King.
I've seen PCO live a couple of times, and he is a beast of a man. He is a beast of a man.
So the crowd erupts, brawl between the six men, people chanting PCO and everything. King hits a
PCO.
King hits a pile driver on Vinny, and PCO connects on a moonsault off the top rope
that's
onto
sick.
all the 3 Kingdom members on the
And we were
floor.
watching PCO earlier from like 25 years ago. Earlier when we were watching Raw with the Quebecs, and he's in the prime of his career now.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Never
This
give up.
was
That's-
20 something years ago.
And he's in a better position he's ever been in at 50 something years old.
And it pretty much just ends with Marty Skull grabbing the mic and saying, officially, everybody, welcome to the Villain Enterprise, and shows us the new logo.
Whoop whoop.
Oh yeah.
So WWE fans,
More of that. More
just
of
to
the
let
logo.
you know, whether you notice or not, when you're at the arenas and you're chanting whoever, and you throw a whoop whoop in between that,
It's
you're-
Marty.
That's Marty Scroll. If you didn't know that,
It's Marty.
that's Marty. So
We'll get a sound bar for that.
I think we do actually have it.
Do we? Whoop, whoop.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. It's lost in the.
Yeah, that's fine.
sauce.
Yeah, that's all right. Next week I'll be back with the sound bites.
Yes, please.
Next week I'll be back with the sound bites. But
If not, you're
not
gonna
the
make the
same.
list again.
yeah, no, we got the book now. The
Yes.
book of kayfabe. The book of kayfabe.
The book.
That-
we
that-
made the list of book.
Yeah.
Yes, the list.
It's not on the list. It's not on the list.
The
We
list
move-
of books.
We
As
moved,
chapters.
we moved beyond the list. And we
Damn.
have the book of kayfabe now.
That Mr. Richie Moon is like the top title holder.
And many,
The most ever.
Many chapters. Many
Maybe
chapters.
we should make that the list champion.
The list champion. Yeah. Just make you a.
Champion of the list.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, with that being said, AJ, tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me at kayfabe_AJ on Instagram.
You can find me at kayfabe_focus.
You can find me at kayfabe queen on Instagram.
Focus, you want to tell people where they can like us and find us at?
Like us at Facebook, follow us on Twitter, buy all the merchandise, and support our Patreon. Wait, we don't have all that, right?
But where they can find you?
Where could you find me? You can find me at Mr. Richie Moon, Kayfabe Avenue, and I just dropped a top 5 things that you should be looking forward to in WWE on IGTV. You see that? You see that? I
It's
rewinded
live
myself.
cast. It's live
It's a live cast. You know what I'm saying? Just
You know
rewinded
what
myself.
happens when you mess up your outro?
We tell Kenny to take us home. That's what we do.
Teddy.
We tell Teddy. Teddy.
my God.
He's Teddy. He's Teddy. Fuck
Tyson.
off.
He's Tyson today.
You know.
Tyson,
You know, son.
take us home.
Yeah.